Hey guys. This is part 3 of What If Naruto Was in Young Justice. Hit like and subscribe if you like this one, and also please check the author in the description. Let's start. Chapter 15, Halloween. October 30th. Naruto tilts his head. Halloween party? Megan nods excitedly. It is going to be great. I invited Wally, Robin, Calder, Artemis, and Zatanna. Superba is coming too, of course. She is so excitedly that she is bouncing on the balls of her feet. Naruto stares at her with a blank expression. Do you want to come? It will be fun. Yeah, sounds like so much fun, grumbles Connor. Megan sends a light glare at her boyfriend. He turns away, going back to listening to the news. What does one do at a Halloween party? Asks Naruto. Megan looks at Naruto in surprise. She slaps her forehead, realizing that he comes from a dimension that doesn't celebrate the same holidays on Earth. The Martian girl is among 4 people that know the truth behind his background. Artemis was first, Megan second, and he told Canary and Batman at the same time yesterday. No more hiding in the shadows. In time, the rest of the team would know as well. Halloween is a holiday where people dress up in costumes. Children go from house to house in an activity known as trick-or-treating to get candy. It is supposed to be a scary holiday, explains Megan. I have never celebrated Halloween, but the party is going to be great. A shrug comes from the ninja. I don't have any other plans, says Naruto. Megan beams happily. Perfect. Oh, be sure to dress up. As what? Anything you want except yourself or a member of the league. Anything he wants? He doesn't want to dress up at all. Still, he did agree to come to the party, and he doesn't break his word. Maybe Higurashi can help him with the costume design. He has been meaning to stop at the weapon show owner to pick up a new sword. I will think of something, says Naruto. A gleam appears in Megan's eyes. Okay, so now that we cleared that all up, how is everything between you and Artemis? Smiles Megan. I heard you two went out on a date. How are you and Superba? Are you two still keeping your relationship a secret? Replies Naruto. Megan and Connor freeze up. Naruto walks away with a small victorious smile. One should never mess with a ninja when it comes to finding out information. Tokyo, October 30th. 10:30 p.m. Higurashi comes out of the back room to find the shop empty. The old man stretches out his arms and back. As he looks back down, he finds Naruto standing in front of the counter. If it isn't the sword breaker. What do you want, brat? Asks Higurashi. It is clear as day that the blacksmith is still upset that Naruto broke one of his finest katana. How is the new katana coming along? Asks Naruto. A smile appears on the blacksmith's face. One thing that the blacksmith loves to talk about is the new weapon that he is building. That metal you brought me, it is unlike anything I have ever seen. It is stronger than steel, so it is taking me a while to forge it, but I will make it into a sword like no other by the time I am done, boasts Higurashi. Naruto decided to keep several of the weapons that Intergang had used. It was made from alien technology that was stronger than any known alloy on Earth. He brought the weapon straight to Higurashi to use as much metal as possible in forging a katana that would be able to withstand the chakra he channels through it. Higurashi jumped at the opportunity to use the stronger, durable metal to build a weapon far greater than anything in the history of Japan. The blacksmith was pretty dramatic about creating a sword that would be able to cut the gods. All Naruto wanted was a weapon that could withstand everything that he puts it through. Are you sure you want it to be a katana? I could make other weapons that would better suit your style, offers Higurashi. The ninja looks at Higurashi curiously. A pensive expression appears on his face. He chose a katana because it is a weapon that he has familiarity with, though to be truthful, he could not bring out its full potential in a battle, as the League has a rule about no killing and he is forced to hold back when using a katana to prevent from killing his enemies. Perhaps another weapon would be more beneficial. What did you have in mind? Asks Naruto. A chuckle comes from Higurashi. It is a surprise. Until then, feel free to grab any katana you like, waves Higurashi. I came here for a second reason. I hear that tomorrow is Halloween. Yeah, what about it? I am in need of a costume. Do you have anything in mind? October 31st. Mount Justice. A howling sound fills the air. Wolf is lying on the ground sleeping. Wally stops his howling, looking down at the sleeping wolf. Really? Not going to join me? Frowns Wally. Wally, leave him alone, says Superba. Megan giggles as she wraps the bandages around Superba. Stop moving around. Megan, leave him alone, says Wally, imitating Superba. The speedster walks over to the two, giving Megan a flirtatious smile. Awkward anyway, inviting him as a third wheel on our date. Superboy gives Wally an annoyed look. Megan frowns. Wally, I invited everyone on the team. Wally continues to give that flirtatious smirk. Good job, the perfect cover for us to get away and have some private time. He gives the pretty Martian girl a wink. A sigh escapes Megan at his behavior. Sooner or later, she was going to have to tell him that she wasn't interested in dating Connor. So are you going as my favorite Martian? Smirks Wally. Not quite. Megan takes a step back. Her outfit and skin begin to change until she looks like a very realistic zombie bride. A smirk appears on her face. A dreamy sigh escapes Wally. Eat my brains out any time. Recognize B07 Artemis. Recognize B08 Zatanna. In dual flashes of light, Artemis and Zatanna appear in the cave. Both girls look at each other. Zatanna is dressed as a witch, including the pointy hat. Artemis is a vampire with long black trench coat. The two girls look great. Nice outfit, smiles Artemis. You too, smirks Zatanna. A giggling sound makes Zatanna look over at Megan and Connor. She leans in to whisper to Artemis. So how long have those two been a couple? Those two. Artemis stops talking as she watches Megan and Connor. Megan is giggling while Superba is flirting with the Martian girl. Instead of being upset, she gains a small smile. I can't believe I missed it. Zatanna giggles. Looks like someone else missed it as well. Artemis looks over to see Wally trying to hit on Megan. The speedster is oblivious to the interaction between Megan and Connor. Recognize B06, Uzumaki Naruto. In a flash of light, the blonde ninja appears. Artemis and Zatanna's eyes widen. The two are almost unable to recognize Naruto. Naruto wears a conical straw hat that shadows his face, a red haori, blue hakama pants, tatama sandals, black forearm guards, and a black sash around his waist with the back tied in a traditional bow. Inside the sash is a wakizashi and a katana. The hakama is open up a bit at the chest to reveal a hint of his chiseled torso. Wow, talk about hot, mutters Zatanna. Artemis's eyes narrow upon the younger girl. She walks over to Naruto and throws her arms around his neck, giving him a light kiss. Zatanna raises an eyebrow. The magic-using girl notices Artemis, sending her a look. A smirk appears on the younger girl's face at the challenge. Hey, smiles Artemis. Love the costume, what are you supposed to be? Naruto was surprised by the sudden kiss, but quickly gets over it. I am a Ronin. A wandering samurai with no master. You look great, smiles Zatanna, approaching the two. Thank you, nods Naruto. You look good as well. Zatanna gives a flirtatious smile. Thanks, I am looking forward to getting to know you better at the party. Artemis glares at Zatanna. I don't think there will. An incoming transmission makes Naruto lift up his arm. He hits a button and Batman's voice rings through. There has been a recent theft at the Manhattan Museum. The item stolen was Beowulf's sword. The museum's curator and the officers investigated were all killed, leaving behind signs of magical residue. Naruto gains a hard look. Ever since he faced Wotan in battle, he has been wanting to learn more about magic. Spells are so similar to jutsu. Send me the coordinates, replies the ninja. Don't take the sword back to the museum. Bring it back to the cave so it can be studied. We will return it to the museum once we have a full analysis of its powers. Batman out. Are you serious? Why can't someone from the League handle it? Frowns Artemis. Naruto forms a hand seal. In a cloud of smoke, he is in a standard A and B uniform. Artemis and Zatanna definitely like the A and B uniform most. It shows off his powerful biceps and hugs his butt nicely. He glances at Artemis. I will make sure to finish the mission as soon as possible. Artemis has an annoyed expression. Fine. Yeah, it would be great if you could finish it in time to make the party. I'll even save you a dance, winks Zatanna. Naruto nods before heading towards the Zeta tubes. In a flash of light, he vanishes. Zatanna turns to see Artemis glaring at her. Handsome, broody, and silent. Definitely my type. The witch walks over towards the others with a coy smile. This is so not over, promises Artemis. Cave. Computer, secure room. Batman turns to face the individuals in the room. Red Arrow, Aqualad, Robin, and Red Tornado were all gathered for this secret meeting. It is time to talk. Do we believe that there is a mole on the team? Aqualad speaks up with no hesitation. I do not believe there is. And even if there was, they would have revealed themselves when we were fighting with the Injustice League. Finishes Robin. I am not so convinced. Sure, you, Robin, and Kid Flash are above suspicion, but I know for a fact that Artemis is not shooting straight. Red Arrow turns to look at Batman. For starters, she is not really Green Arrow's niece. Aqualad is shocked and surprised by that information. What? A chuckle comes from Robin. Well, yeah, she is, enough. Interrupts Batman. Artemis is a member of the team and is entitled to a secret identity like the rest of us. My concern is Superba. We don't know the extent of the programming that Cadmus put him through. He could be a mole and not even know it. Red Tornado remains silent. Batman's statement is a logical one, so the android can't refute the claim. Red Arrow picks out another member on the team that could be a mole. Let's not forget about Miss Martian. The first time Martian Manhunter met her was when she stowed away on his ship. Robin leans forward. I think the most obvious person to be the mole is Naruto. I mean, he is actively being sought for recruitment in the League of Shadows. I have fought side by side all of them. There is no mole on the team, states Aqualad. Manhattan Naruto appears on the roof of the museum. The robbery and killings happened recently. He can still smell the blood in the air. Whoever did this was sloppy, overconfident in their ability to handle anyone that might come to investigate. In other words, an idiot. A small bit of disappointment appears on the ninja's face. He had been eager to investigate this matter when he heard magic was involved. Perhaps have a chance at facing a worthy opponent like Black Adam or Votan. Instead, it looks like he will be facing a cocky young man that thinks too highly on his abilities. There is no point in hiding. You have little skill in it, says Naruto. The ninja turns around to see a young man step out of the shadows. Its abilities are impressive. Harm will enjoy playing it with. A tall young man with long black hair, dark brown eyes, and a muscular build like a martial artist's. He carries a Roman-style sword in his right hand and a strange sheath in his left. I would recommend surrendering, suggests Naruto. Harm smirks in amusement. He walks towards Naruto with supreme confidence. Lifting his arm, he swings his sword looking to decapitate the ninja. Naruto catches Harm's wrist and delivers a kick that sends Harm flying across the roof. Harm twists around in midair, landing on his feet. So it has some fight in it. Harm likes that. Harm charges at Naruto at impressive speeds. Naruto's onyx black eyes begin to bleed red. The world becomes crystal clear and Harm is moving in slow motion to the ninja. Harm begins to wield the sword with expert skill, trying to kill the ninja hero. Not a single slash or thrust comes close to touching the ninja. Anger starts to build up as Harm realizes that he is being toyed with. Naruto easily steps around the swing before a backhand sends Harm flying. Naruto stares out over the city. My Sharingan, it is even more powerful than I remember. Harm has had enough. A rise of magical powerful begins to surround the sword. His heart begins to radiate dark magical power that glows from within his chest. Harm swings his sword, launching a blast of magical lightning at Naruto. Naruto dodges the lightning, then vanishes into thin air. Pain fills Harm as Naruto appears in front of him with a fist buried into his gut. Several more blows strike Harm all over the body before a spinning heel kick launches him over the edge of the building. Harm plummets down towards the ground, hitting it hard. The sword clatters to the ground. Naruto lands next to the sword. He picks up the weapon. A wave of magical power goes through the sword, trying to shock him. He grits his teeth, enduring the pain before stabbing the sword into the ground. Harm begins to stand up. Only those pure of heart like Harm can wield the sword. He charges at Naruto. Sharingan locks eyes with Harm's dark brown orbs. Harm freezes in spot. Black tomo begin to spin rapidly. Fear begins to fill Harm. A gasp escapes Harm as the world around him darks until all that he can see are a pair of glowing red eyes with 3 black tomo. No, no! Halloween party. Artemis sits at the table with a bored expression. It wasn't the party. The music, drinks, and food were all good. There was plenty to do, but she came to this party with plans on spending time with her boyfriend. Keep that look on your face and none of the boys will ask you to dance. Zatanna approaches Artemis with a couple drinks. She offers one to Artemis. Artemis gives the girl a suspicious look before taking a drink. Thanks, mumbles the archer. A smirk appears on Zatanna's face as she takes a seat next to Artemis. So going to keep on sulking? Artemis sends a light glare at Zatanna. I am going to take that as a yes. I bet Naruto is dying to come back to this oh so much fun side of you, teases Zatanna. Artemis takes a sip from her drink. You are really starting to annoy me. Yeah, I am getting that. So how about a dance? What? Laughter erupts from Zatanna. The younger girl stands up with a coy smile. Come on, I really want to dance and the guys here are all dressed like my dad and his friends. It is a little on the creepy side. You could use a little relaxation. Artemis is about to decline, but Zatanna grabs her hand and drags her towards the dance floor. A blush heats Artemis's cheeks as Zatanna begins to dance next to her. Zatanna smiles in amusement, silently laughing at the older girl. Grumbling, Artemis decides to go with it and starts to dance as well. The two girls are soon dancing without a care in the world. Their bold behavior encourages several other girls without a date or with guys that don't want to dance to go onto the dance floor. Manhattan Green Arrow watches as the unconscious teen is loaded into the back of the police car. Nice work, kid. He turns to face Naruto. I will have Zatara analyze the sword. You can head back to meet up with the others. Naruto gives a nod. He forms a hand seal and vanishes in a cloud of smoke. A short distance away, the young ninja hero appears on the roof of a building. He begins to leap from roof to roof, heading towards the Zeta Tube. A rise in power causes Naruto come to a sudden stop. He spins around with a kunai drawn. Blue eyes narrow as a black portal appears in the air above him. The black portal grows larger until it is the size of a human body. Out of the portal emerges a figure. Naruto leaps backwards to create space between him and the new person. Whoever it is, they appear human, but their scent is a bit off. He takes a moment to observe the newcomer. It is a female that stands a few inches shorter than him. She wears a deep purple cloak with a hood, purple gloves that extend past her elbows, and purple thigh-high boots with 1-inch heels. A matching one-piece hugs her body tightly, showing that despite her young appearance, she possesses womanly curves. She hovers in the air for a few seconds, staring down at him. Slowly, she lowers herself down to the roof. I have not come to fight you. I am in need of your help. She speaks in a soft tone. You aren't human, states Naruto. And the power you wield, it reeks of death. I will not deny my demonic heritage. My name is Raven and I am the daughter of Trigon. Raven stares deep into his eyes. I need your help in stopping my father. Chapter 16, Church of Blood. My lord, we have found the child. A deep, dark laughter fills the chambers. It is filled with a joy that promises destruction and death. So she has finally come out of hiding. His eyes glow red, unable to contain his excitement. Bring my future wife to me. Break. Naruto places the kunai back into his pouch. Sorry, I have previous plans. Raven displays no emotion. I am afraid that if my father is not stopped, your entire world will be destroyed. If he is so powerful, why come to me? The Justice League, I went to them first, admits Raven. Like you, they chose not to trust me due to my patronage. Once I failed to convince them, I decided to seek out other heroes with the power to help me. I cannot defeat him on my own. The ninja is unable to sense any deception. But magic is a power that he understands very little. He can sense that she is strong in magic, perhaps even on the same level as Zatara. Judging by her power and lack of emotions, it is possible she is able to disguise her emotions even from his ability. I work for the Justice League. If they are not willing to help, then I will have to. A rise in killing intent causes Naruto and Raven to tense. Multiple individuals in black robes with crimson linings start to clamber onto the roof. There are 15 in total that surround the two. In unison, the cloaked individuals begin to chant. The Church of Blood, states Raven. A mystic rune forms under Raven and Naruto. It rises up into a mystical cage that starts to shrink. Who are they? Asks Naruto. Raven is almost unable to contain her emotions. She turns to face the young hero. Naruto stands with a bored expression on his face. He is not even the least bit concerned as the cage continues to shrink. His eyes glance at her, waiting for an answer. The Church of Blood is a cult that worships Trigon. It is their goal to resurrect my father, explains Raven. Do not worry, we have no desire to kill the daughter of Trigon. Our Lord wishes to take you as his bride. Once you two are wed, he will have you sire a child of untold power, states one of the cloaked individuals. I will not be used to create more evil. Raven begins to chant. Azeroth Metrian Zinthos. She thrusts her arms forward, expelling a wave of black magic. The magic slams into the side of the cage. It stops the cage from shrinking for a second. The black magic is unable to destroy the mystical cage and vanishes. The magic is too strong. Naruto flashes through hand seals. Futon de Tapa. A clap of the hands creates powerful gale force winds. The winds blow outward from the ninja. Members of the Church of Blood try to stand their ground, but are blown backwards, interrupting their chant. The runic circle begins to vanish along with the mystic cage. Get up! Capture her! Raven rises high into the air. A wave of the hand launches several balls of black magic. Screams of pain come from several cult members. Naruto turns to see 3 cult members gathering various balls of elemental magic. He flicks his wrist, releasing multiple shuriken that impale the cult members. Together, Naruto and Raven begin to take out the cult members. The leader of the group watches as his fellow worshippers are taken down. None of them are strong enough to stand up to the 2 young wannabe heroes. A smirk appears on his face. Clasping his hands together, he begins to chant in ancient tongue. Azeroth Metrian Zinthos, chants Raven. A wave of black magic blasts the cult members off the roof of the building. She senses a rise in dark magical power. Spinning around, she turns to see one of the cult members chanting in an ancient demonic tongue. No! Raven gathers her magic and launches a wave of black magic at the cultist. A roaring inferno rises up, blocking the magic. The inferno surrounds the cultist. Naruto knocks out the last cultist before turning to face the new development. He stares at the rising inferno. The inferno dies away to reveal a creature that he had never laid eyes upon. It rises up to its full 10 feet height. There is no skin on the creature, just pink-red muscles that bulge obscenely. Instead of fingers, there are razor-sharp claws on its hands and feet that can shred metal. A roar emanates from the creature, revealing teeth that would make a shark jealous. My true form is revealed! Time to make all those that oppose my lord perish! Naruto crouches into a stance. Care to explain? It is a demon, a minion of Trigon, answers Raven. The demon walks over to a fallen cultist and picks them up. Opening its mouth wide like snake, it bites off the cultist's head in a single bite. Naruto and Raven watch as the demon devours the cultist, clothes and all. A wide smile forms on the demon's face and it grows a bit larger. A demon of gluttony. The more it eats, the more powerful it becomes. Food is power. Raven hovers down next to Naruto. We need to stop it. There is no point in giving a speech about what will happen should the demon roam free in the city. Both know the consequences if they fail to beat the demon. Zatanna nudges Artemis. Don't go pouting on me again. Artemis scowls. I am not pouting. Zatanna raises an eyebrow. I am worried about Naruto. He said it wouldn't take long. Yeah, I have heard that like a million times from my dad, smirks Zatanna. Trust me, he never gets back on time. I mean, come on, do the missions with the team ever go as planned? A sigh escapes the archer. I guess that is true. Artemis came to the party to spend time with her friends, but not so secretly. She wanted to spend more time with Naruto. Going to parties has never been her idea of fun, but she liked being with him. Heck, she even planned on dancing and spending as much as the night as possible flirting with her new boyfriend. After the party, she planned to have a makeout session. He is her first boyfriend, and she wanted to live it up. Batman completely ruined her plans. Are you really worried about him? Asks Zatanna. Not really, admits Artemis. Naruto is one of the strongest people I ever met. He can probably even hold his own with various members in the league. It just sucks that he is not here. Zatanna had thought as much. She had snuck into the mountain on several different occasions. One of the things she had done is brought up the sparring matches between various members on the team. Naruto had never lost a single match. He beat every member on the team. Superba, Calder, Robin, Wally, Artemis, and Megan all lost. There were times when the members would team up on Naruto and still would not come close to winning, or even landing a blow. She had even watched Naruto take out Black Canary with little to no problem at all. Naruto Uzumaki is a powerhouse. It is one of the reasons she was so fascinated with him. A flirty smile appears on her face. Like she said previously, she likes the strong, silent types. She plans to learn more about the mysterious blonde. Come on! Zatanna stands up. Artemis gains a curious expression. I am tired of this party. How about we head back to base and find out what is keeping him so long? Artemis smirks. That is the best idea you had all night. I am full of great ideas. Whatever. Manhattan Park. Raven creates a bubble of black magic to protect herself from an explosion. The flames strike her shield and break around it. I thought it was supposed to capture you. Naruto lands on a branch next to the girl. All it cares about now is feeding, states Raven. Naruto watches as the demon walks through the flames without slowing down. It looks like he won't be using fire jutsu. Leaping into the air, he flashes through hand seals. His right palm slams down upon the ground. Doton, Doria Taiga! The ground starts to turn into a river of mud. You think this can stop me? I will devour you! Roaring, the demon shows off incredible strength as it manages to leap out of the mud. Naruto already flashes through a new set of hand seals. His stomach begins to bulge. Futon Rankuden! He punches his stomach, spitting out a ball of condensed wind. A roar of pain erupts from the demon. The wind bullet drills into its chest, spraying blood in all directions. Azeroth Metron Zinthos! A spark of black magic pierces through the demon's chest, finishing it off. Naruto dusts off his pants. It was weaker than I imagined. If he had known that it was that weak, he would have dealt with it back on the roof. A lesser demon. It didn't have much time to gather power. Raven lands on the ground next to Naruto. I assure you that Trigon will not be beat so easily. I am not sure that he can be beat at all. All that have tried to defy him have perished. Then why is he not here now? Trigon needs a vessel and a special ritual to enter into each dimension. These requirements must be met, otherwise he is bound to his own dimension. Naruto walks over toward the demon. The demon turns its eyes on him. Fool, no one can escape the wraith of Trigon, your world will fall. Laughter erupts from the demon as its body combusts into flames. Soon nothing remains except ashes in the wind. Raven comes up next to the ninja. His words will ring true if Trigon is not stopped. Have you ever heard of a demon known as Kyubi? Asks Naruto. Kyubi? Raven gains a pensive expression. I am afraid not. Naruto is disappointed to hear that, but doesn't let it show. How do we stop Trigon from entering this dimension? It takes a large amount of magic to perform the ritual to summon Trigon. There are few individuals with such power on their own, so instead cults like the Church of Blood come together. One can also seek out powerful demonic artifacts to gain the power needed, explains Raven. The Church of Blood is not to be underestimated. We should gather allies. How long do we have until Trigon is raised? It will not be long. Even now I can feel his power poisoning this dimension. The ninja scratches the back of his head. Taking on a demon is no small feat. As much as he would like to do this on his own, the last time he tried to take on a huge source of power on his own, it almost ended up with him in a bad situation. He is referring to Infinity Man's fear as the reason that he managed to survive that fight. Can you track the Church of Blood? Asks Naruto. Raven shakes her head. No, they have found ways to block my tracking spells. Naruto glances at Raven. We need to find the Church of Blood. He knows that the best person to track down a dangerous cult is Robin. The problem is that he doesn't know where to find the boy wonder. Robin and Knucklehead both turned down the invitations to the Halloween party. I am going to have to call in a favor. Mount Justice. In a flash of light, Artemis and Zatanna enter the cave. A familiar pair of voices fills the air, catching their attention. Church of Blood? I have never heard of them, says Canary. I have, says Arrow. He types rapidly on the console. Various clippings of newspapers articles spring up around the two League members. Batman had a run-in with them a few years ago. As fanatic and lethal as the cult of Cobra. They are not as open in their activities, but are obsessed with ritual sacrifices and serving some demon overlord. Artemis and Zatanna silently listen in on the conversation. Their eyes widen when Naruto's face appears on a monitor. I had a run-in with a group of them not long ago. It was an easy enough fight until one of their members used magic to transform into a demon. The screen shifts over to show a bird's-eye view of a destroyed park. Police officers and firefighters are in the area dealing with the damage. The demon spoke about the rise of Trigon before turning into ashes. I believe that there will be more attacks. Canary folds her arms across her chest. Interesting. Green Arrow strokes his goatee. I guess that the girl from earlier might not have been lying. Girl? Mouths Zatanna to Artemis. A shrug comes from the archer. Unfortunately, we don't have much information on them. Green Arrow begins to type at a slower pace. The most recent information we have on them is from a month ago. An informant, The Question, reported strange mystic activity in Central City. Hawkwoman and Hawkman checked it out, but it was a dead end. Not even sure that the Church of Blood was involved, but it had similar readings to their activities in Gotham according to Batman. Canary peers at Naruto with a knowing expression. Is she with you now? Naruto doesn't say a word, but the image zooms out a bit to reveal a second person next to him. I thought as much. Who the hell is that? Zatanna smacks her forehead. Artemis groans, realizing she blurted that aloud. Green Arrow turns his head with a smirk. I see we are going to have to work on staying hidden. Cursing, Artemis walks forward with Zatanna a step behind. A sigh escapes Canary. I'll deal with you two later. She turns back to Naruto. I already know that she is not completely human and that she might be a possible threat. If she tries anything, I will bring her in. Interrupts Naruto. Kid sounds like the bats. Mumbles Arrow. Send me the coordinates, and I'll head over to Central City. If I find anything, I will contact the League, says Naruto. Canary presses a couple buttons. Coordinates sent. I have also programmed the Zeta tubes to allow for a temporary guest. Naruto out. The screen vanishes. Canary and Green Arrow turn to face the two spies. What have we told you all about interfering in League matters? Frowns Canary. Technically, Naruto is part of the team, so it is not league. Don't get smart with me, Zatanna. You are not on the team or in the league, so this goes double for you. Zatanna falls silent. I think I have the right to know what is going on with my boy teammate, says Artemis. Green Arrow chuckles in amusement. I am sure that is the reason. Artemis glances away with a light blush. Zatanna cracks a smile knowing that her friend was caught. Every time a problem arises, we don't call on the team or even the league to handle it. The team and the league were created to handle the big problems. Ones that can't be done solo or in some cases, shouldn't be. Smaller issues like these are taken care of by one or two individuals at the most. Do you think I call and help every time there is a crime in my city? Canary stares straight at Artemis. When on the job, personal feelings must be put aside. Artemis refrains from making a comment or meeting Canary's eyes. I know I am not part of the team or the league, but it seems like you two don't really trust the person that was with Naruto, points out Zatanna. If she really is dangerous, shouldn't there be someone to help him? I mean, he is about to chase down a cult that can summon demons. The last thing he needs is to worry about some strange girl attacking him too. The two league members share a look. Zatara will kill us, states Arrow. It won't be the first time, and she does make a valid point, sighs Canary. All right, suit up. In a burst of magic, Zatanna and Artemis are in their gear. Ready, smirks Artemis. Zatanna winks. Central City Raven increases her speed, barely able to keep up with Naruto. Usually, the ability to fly gives one an advantage when it comes to traveling. This is not the case. Naruto is leaping from roof to roof at speeds that surprise the magic user. He moves with such grace and elegance. It is like he is one with the wind. Naruto lands on the ledge of the roof and pauses. The building up ahead, he states. Raven hovers down next to him. Her eyes travel ahead to see a 10-story building. It is in pretty good shape. It used to be an office building for a small company. The company was bought out a couple years ago by the Luther Corporation, and the building has been empty ever since. Naruto is reading the information from the hollow communicator on his left arm. The device is identical to the one that Robin has, though without the hacking abilities. I can sense dark mystic energy, says Raven. A wave of the hand sends a ball of black magic at the building. A purple-black magical force field appears around the building, absorbing the magic. Is there any weak points? Asks Naruto. I may be able to open a small hole in the shield, but they will know that we are coming. Giving away the element of surprise doesn't sit well with the ninja. He had been hoping to find a way to sneak inside, subdue the hostiles, and make it back in time to enjoy the Halloween party. How long will it take you to open a hole? Raven gains a pensive expression. The mystic shield is designed to resist my magic. It will take me time to weaken it. It isn't designed to resist my magic. Naruto and Raven turn around. What are you two doing here? He asks. Zatanna sends the ninja a flirtatious smile. You don't sound happy to see us. I'll have to change that. She winks. Artemis ignores Zatanna. Canary and Arrow thought you could use some backup. Her eyes drift towards Raven. A small bit of killing intent is released by Artemis. Raven senses the negative emotions, but is not intimidated. She is used to such feelings being directed at her. Raven, Zatanna, get to work on opening a hole in that barrier. Break, my lord, we have intruders. A chuckle fills the darkness. I am aware. Crimson eyes glow brightly in excitement. It looks like my bride decided to come to me of her own free will. The man in purple robes keeps his head lowered. What do you wish for us to do? A silence fills the large room. It seems like an eternity before the master answers. Start the ritual. I will make sure that our guests receive a proper welcome. Break. Naruto comes up beside Artemis. Is everything all right? He can tell that she is upset. Unlike him, Artemis tends to wear her emotions on her sleeves. Artemis folds her arms across her chest. I am fine. You do remember I can sense when people are lying? A silence develops between them. She tears her eyes away from Raven and Zatanna to face her boyfriend. Why didn't you call me in for backup? I could have helped from the beginning. The ninja tilts his head. Do you know anything about the Church of Blood? No. Then what would have been the point of calling you in for backup? You know as much as I do. That is not the point. What is the point? I am your girlfriend. Artemis throws her arms down. We are supposed to be there for each other. If you need help, I should be the first person for you to call. A frown forms on his face. I can't accept that. She feels her anger rising. In order to succeed in a mission, I need to make rational decisions. Calling you in for backup just to make you happy would be a mistake. Are you saying I can't help? On certain missions, yes. Artemis is about to explode. There are missions I am no help in either. We all have strengths and weaknesses. You shouldn't take it personally, states Naruto. Artemis scowls. Whatever. Zatanna interrupts the two. Hey, we are about to break through. Naruto walks past Artemis. Angrily, she follows him. Raven and Zatanna are chanting in different tongues. Their arms are pointed at the building with palms outward. Magic bursts from their palm, connecting with the mystic barrier. A hole begins to open up, growing larger and larger. Hurry! Grits Zatanna. Kage Bunshin. Two Naruto pop into existence in identical clouds of smoke. Zatanna, Raven, and Artemis are picked up bridal style by Naruto and his clones. All three Naruto leap from the roof straight through the hole. Naruto kicks the window and turns his body so none of the glass hits Artemis. They land inside the building just as the hole closes. Raven and Zatanna are lowered to their feet and the clones burst into smoke. Artemis angrily hops out of Naruto's arms. Solid clones, huh? What else can you do? Smiles Zatanna. The ritual has begun, says Raven. It is down below. Good, I need to punch something. Artemis leads the way towards the elevator. Upon reaching the middle of the room, a runic circle appears on the ceiling. Artemis notches an arrow. Zatanna and Raven prepare to cast spells. Naruto waits patiently. Magic flares throughout the room, blasting away the desks and computers. Imp-like creatures with ugly putrid purple skin, horns, and claws begin to materialize out of thin air. A 6-foot-tall muscular demon with crimson skin enters the room. Kill them! Artemis notches an arrow. Eat this! The arrow sails true, striking an imp and exploding, blasting two others next to it. Azeroth Metron Zinthos! Arif Nrub Nordlock Elbub! Incants Zatanna. 3 imps are set on fire. A wave of black magic blasts another 2 imps into a column. Naruto channels lightning-natured chakra through his kunai. He bursts forward, decapitating 4 imps in a single go. The rule among heroes is usually not to kill, but these are demons with no humanity in them at all. There is no redemption or rehabilitation for such creatures. I can feel your greed for power. It is intoxicating. The leader of the demons marches towards Artemis. It dodges several arrows and leaps at the girl. Artemis rolls out of the way, avoiding a punch that broke through the floor. Eat this! Artemis shoots an arrow that explodes, releasing a net. The demon slices through the net and charges towards the archer. She fires 2 more arrows that explode on contact. Out of the smoke, the demon continues to charge forward. Azeroth Metron Zinthos! Black magic surrounds the demon, lifting it into the air, then banishing it into the far wall. Raven floats over towards Artemis. The demon feeds off emotions. Out of the rubber emerges the demon. There is no denying one's true feelings. Greed is everywhere. The demon begins to bulk up. A pair of lightning-infused kunai pierce the demon's chest. A roar of pain erupts from the demon as the lightning travels through its body, electrocuting it. The demon falls to its knees. Naruto steps forward with his usual calm expression. Do you really think you can defeat me with such weak weapons? Smirking, the demon rips out the kunai, letting blood spray freely from the wounds. It stands up with an arrogant expression. Hiding your emotions is not the same as not having. Wait, where is your greed? Raven stares at Naruto with surprise on her face. He possesses no greed? All humans possess such emotions. Naruto draws a new pair of kunai. This time, instead of lightning-natured chakra, he channels wind-natured chakra through them. An invisible blade of wind extends 6 inches outward from each kunai. He crouches down low. What reason do I have to be greedy? I have everything I want and need. At speeds none of them are able to follow. Naruto appears behind the demon. I suppose I do have a bit of greed though. I really want to finish this new jutsu I am working on. Impossible. Blood sprays from 6 wounds. The demon erupts into flames. Naruto returns the kunai to his pouch. So hot, whispers Zatanna. Artemis glances away, not wanting to admit that she found it to be pretty damn sexy. She is trying to stay mad at him. Raven, on the other hand, stares at Naruto. It is not that he doesn't possess such emotions, it is that the demon was unable to feed off them. How is that possible? Need to keep moving, says Naruto. Mount Justice. Staring at me is not going to change anything. Remind me to never trust you again, glares Zatara. Green Arrow steps between the two. Okay, let's all calm down. He puts up his hands in a peaceful gesture. Zatara, I highly doubt anything is going to happen to your little girl. I know you have trained her well. Zatara calms down a bit. She is not ready to go on missions. Or maybe you are not ready to give her a chance, counters Canary. I have seen it in her eyes. She is going to walk the same path as you. Best she learns the difficulties of it now. Church of Blood. Zatanna takes a small cut across her left arm. An incantation blasts the feminine demon backwards. Is there an end to these things? She winces. Muttering an incantation, bandages appear out of thin air, wrapping snugly around the wound. A dozen spikes of black magic spear the various lust demons. Screams erupt from the lust demons as they burst into flames. Artemis fires several arrows up at the ceiling. The arrows explode, making parts of the ceiling drop down upon a couple lust demons. I am really getting tired of these demons, scowls Artemis. Raven lands next to Naruto. The ritual is in the room up ahead. Trigon's evil presence, I feel it too. Naruto has sensed it since entering the building. It reminds him of the first time that he met with Kurama. Pure malice and hatred. The only problem is that it feels a great deal stronger. That does not bode well. I've noticed none of the demons are attacking you. Either you serve a purpose in the ritual, or do I need to take care of you? The decision is up to you, says Raven. Naruto glances at Raven. I can't risk it. I want you to leave the building and do not come back. If we fail to stop the ritual, contact the League and label it an Omega-level threat. It won't be ignored this time around. I understand. A black portal opens up behind Raven. Raven hovers backwards into it and disappears. Artemis watches as Naruto runs ahead. The archer lowers her bow. She had heard the entire conversation between the two. Without hesitation, Naruto sent away a teammate. I can't accept that. I need to be able to make rational decisions while on a mission, Artemis. Zatanna runs over to her friend. We need to get going. Artemis nods. Right. Naruto leaps onto a stair railing. He looks down to see an entire floor cleared out. 24 individuals in purple robes are in a circle. All of them are chanting in a language he doesn't recognize. In a single leap, he lands behind 2 cloaked individuals. The 2 cloaked individuals drop to the ground, knocked out cold from chops to the back of the neck. Futon de Tapa. A clap of the hands create powerful gale force winds that blast the members of the cult in every direction. A demonic laughter fills the air. Naruto turns to the source of the sound. Out of the shadows emerges a figure reeking of evil. The man stands at an impressive 6 foot 5 inches, wearing an animal skull over his head with the teeth framing his face. His outfit consists of a blood-red cape over a skin-tight blue outfit with a red demon skull drawn on the chest. I had thought that it was Trigon's daughter that I sensed, but this whole time it was you who possessed the power I sought, smirks the man. Ever heard of a demon called Kyubi? Asks Naruto. Kyubi? The man gains a thoughtful expression. The nine-tailed fox. I have not heard of such a demon. There was a demon known as the ten-tailed beast, Jubi. Not as powerful as Trigon, but worthy of mention. Naruto doesn't recognize that name. Jubi? Kurama never spoke of a ten-tailed demon. As far as he knew, Kurama was the most powerful with 9 tails. If you are truly interested in learning about demons, there is no better teacher than I. Swear allegiance to me, brother Blood, and I shall set you down a proper path. Smirks the man. I'll give you the option to surrender. Brother Blood smirks in amusement. A pity, I had no intention to harm such a valuable asset. Oh well, I will do whatever it takes to raise my master. Demonic, mystical energy begins to swirl around Brother Blood. Naruto leaps backwards to avoid a few loose waves that rip apart the floor. Rise, demons of Trigon! The magic begin to open up several runic portals. Out of the portals emerge 3 large demons. One of the demon is 7 feet tall and extremely overweight. A second demon is purple with feminine curves, standing at 8 feet tall, and radiating waves of lust. Lastly, a third demon standing at 10 feet tall with large bulging muscles stomps forward. Kill him! Smirks Brother Blood. I have a ritual to complete. I don't think so. Time to give it up. Zatanna and Artemis run into the room. Brother Blood chuckles. Kill them as well. Artemis, herd them together, orders Naruto. Zatanna, I need water. Lots of water. He begins to toss a barrage of kunai and shuriken at the demons. Artemis finds a good spot at the top of the floor. Taking aim, a smile appears on her face as she begins to fire arrow after arrow. Arrows impact the floor at the feet of the demon. The explosions cause the demons to stumble backwards. Nair titel oti avoba mor stalkate namasai, incants Zatanna. Crackling of thunder fills the air. Storm clouds begin to form in the air above. Soon enough it begins to rain heavily. I hope this is enough. Zatanna runs out of the rain, not wanting to get caught in whatever crazy technique Naruto had planned. Brother Blood breaks concentration as the cold rain pelts his body. Such weak spells shall not stop the rise of Trigon. It rains so hard that a lake begins to form. Artemis is forced to take cover. Does he really need all this rain? Naruto walks on top of the water. He flashes through hand seals. Suetun, Suigaden! 6 spinning drills of water rise up, impaling the demons. The demons roar in pain as they fall face first into the water. A frown forms on Naruto's face. The demons do not burst into flames like the other ones. Instead, they bleed like humans. There is so much blood that the water is beginning to turn crimson. Yes, yes! Brother Blood raises his arms up. The blood of the demons begin to rise up, taking various shapes. Manipulating blood, that is really dark magic, gulps Zatanna. The blood begins to swirl around Naruto. He is about to try to escape when a vision of a certain demon with 9 tails appears in front of him. Kurama? Naruto barely avoids being impaled by several tails. An arrow sinks into the demon's head. It explodes, blasting blood in every direction. Naruto makes a mental note to thank Artemis once the battle is over. Artemis barely avoids a barrage of blood bullets. A scream escapes the girl as 2 pierce her right leg. She falls forward. A blade of blood forms above her. It shoots downward, intent on impaling her. Azeroth Metron Zinthos! Black magic wraps around Artemis, pulling her out of the way. Brother Blood turns to face the newcomer. My lovely bride has arrived! Come to me, Raven! Raven gently lowers Artemis to the floor. Suetun, Suryodin no Jutsu! Water rises up, taking the form of a dragon. It roars loudly before charging at Brother Blood. A protective wall of blood rises up, protecting Brother Blood. The dragon slams into the water with great force. Brother Blood's eyes widen as cracks start to form. Gritting his teeth, he pours more power into the wall of blood. The wall barely manages to hold out. Good thing I had Zatanna create water. It is far less draining on my chakra to use water jutsu, thinks Naruto. Do you really think you can beat me? I serve the greatest demon lord in all dimensions, laughs Brother Blood. But his power is not your power, replies Naruto. Brother Blood is unable to keep up with the hand seals. Suetun Daibakufa no Jutsu! The water rises up and begins to swirl around into a large vortex. Horror fills Brother Blood. He tries to control the blood in the water, but the water is moving so fast. It slams into cult leader, carrying him straight into the wall. So powerful is the vortex that it destroys the wall. Naruto walks over to the large hole in the side of the building. Too much power, mutters the ninja. He had thought that Brother Blood would attempt some type of defensive magic. Looks like he overestimated the cult leader. Or Brother Blood underestimated the ninja's power. On the plus side, he defeated Brother Blood and prevented Trigon from entering this dimension. On the downside, he lost the chance to capture the fanatic cult leader. Raven lands next to Naruto. Trigon was prevented from entering this realm today, but I fear he will try again. It seems like most people in this world are too dumb to realize when beaten, says Naruto. He turns around, heading towards Artemis and Zatanna. Artemis is leaning on Zatanna for support. Naruto walks up to Artemis and surprises the girl by picking her up bridal style. Naruto? The mission is over. It is time to go back to the cave, says Naruto. Artemis lowers her head. Listen, about earlier. He pauses to look down at her. I am sorry. You were right. Naruto continues to carry Artemis. I never meant to hurt your feelings. Yeah, I get that now. Artemis cracks a small smile. This is the best Halloween I have had in a long time. I could have gone without the being shot though. Amusement dances in Naruto's eyes. My first Halloween, so I have nothing to compare it to, but it wasn't so bad. Zatanna and Raven walk behind the two. So what was your name again? Raven. Zatanna, nice to meet you. Raven keeps a stoic expression. Zatanna is not in the least bit disturbed by the lack of emotions. Thanks for helping us back there. You are welcome. Mount Justice. What happened to Brother Blood? I had a couple of my clones search for his body, but was unable to find him. I am sure he is alive, reports Naruto. Batman gives a stiff nod. And the girl? She left after we hit the Zeta tubes, answers Zatanna. Not much of a talker. Naruto elaborates. Raven was not a threat. She proved to be an ally, and as such, I saw no reason to bring her in. Canary smiles, proud of that decision. You made the right call. Her eyes drift over towards the Dark Knight. The Justice League doesn't have the right to detain anyone that doesn't break the law. Batman remains silent, not agreeing or disagreeing with her claim. All of you head home. Naruto and Zatanna take their leave. Asai escapes Zatanna. I just know my dad is going to kill me. I hope not, you are a useful ally, says Naruto. Zatanna smirks. Is that so? Like having me around you? Naruto nods. Smirking, she leans forward, giving him a peck on the cheek. Thanks, I like being on the team too. With a wave, she heads into the Zeta tube and disappears in a flash of light. Naruto scratches the back of his head. He had a feeling that there was more to Zatanna's comment than he was able to understand. Girls are harder to read than he thought. Chapter 17 New Developments. Raven hovers in the air, making sure to keep to the shadows. She silently watches as a certain ninja easily takes out several bank robbers. The past 3 days, she has been keeping an eye on the hero that helped her to stop the rise of Trigon. For reasons she is unable to explain, she is drawn to the mysterious blonde. Well, there are several reasons that come to mind, but she knows none of them are the true reason that she follows him. The first reason that she decided to follow him is due to his incredible power. Raven is not one to brag, but she is well aware that her magical power is greater than most. In this dimension, she is sure that she is one of the most powerful magic users. Being the daughter of Trigon blessed her with incredible magical power. The only positive of being the daughter of the demon. Naruto, on the other hand, possesses power that dwarfs her own. He possesses super speed, super strength, ability to manipulate the elements, incredible fighting talent, and much more that she knows he is hiding. There are others in this dimension that possess incredible power, but most of them are much older and experienced. Uzumaki Naruto is about the same age as her. His potential has yet to be reached. How strong will he be when he reaches that full potential? Second, he has the power to resist demonic powers. Minions of Trigon are based off the 7 deadly sins that reside in all humans. Trigon uses those sins to gain strength and open portals to this dimension as well as other dimensions. Even she is not immune to such demons, hence the reason she keeps her emotions in check. Naruto, on the other hand, was able to resist the demon's ability. He openly admitted to having greedy/selfish desires, yet the demon was unable to feed on them. Raven still had no idea how he was able to accomplish such a feat. Cold metal presses against her throat. Is there a reason you have been spying on me these past couple days? Raven stares down at the Naruto on the street. She had foolishly forgot about his ability to make clones. Once again, he piqued her interest. I meant no harm, says Raven. I merely wish to learn more about you. I have enough people spying on me from the shadows. I'd rather not add you to that list. Naruto removes the kunai. Raven turns around. I apologize, she bows. There is something that has been on my mind. He stares at her, not making a sound. Why are you so interested in finding a demon called Kyubi? Gotham, November 4th. When do I get to meet this boy? Artemis almost drops her eggs. What? Paula looks at her daughter with an annoying smile. Did you really think you could hide it from me? A groan escapes the archer. There is no point in trying to hide it at this point. It is times like these that Artemis hates that her mother used to be a supervillain and assassin. I am not bringing him home so that you can try to intimidate him, glares Artemis. I just want to meet him, lies Paula. I want to make sure that he is worth my daughter's attention. Well, he did save my life a couple times, so I think he qualifies. Oh? So he is someone on your team then? Artemis groans, wishing she had never said anything. It is not Robin, is it? Frowns Paula. The idea of her daughter spending time with Batman's protege did not sit well with her. No way. Artemis ruffles her nose. Robin is cute, but way too young. Aqualad? No. Superba? No. Paula gains a surprised expression. Uzumaki Naruto? Artemis doesn't say a word, instead choosing to finish her breakfast. I did not expect that. A smile lights up the woman's face. I want to meet him. Mom! Or I could take a trip to Japan. I do have some money saved up and I could call in a couple favors, fine. Artemis sends a glare at her mother. I'll talk to him about coming over for dinner or something. Paula smiles victoriously. Good, I look forward to meeting him. Japan, November 4th. Kyubi is not an actual demon. I am not sure I understand. Like you, I am not originally from this dimension. In my dimension there are 9 powerful beasts known as the tailed beasts. These beasts have incredible powers. Many consider them to be demons because of their terrible power, explains Naruto. Few individuals know the truth about the tailed beasts. Kyubi was the name given to the demon. Kyubi's true name is Kurama. Raven gains a pensive expression. Kurama? Naruto notices a flicker of recognition. I have heard that name. Tell me, orders Naruto. Kurama was mentioned in my studies on Azeroth. A being of great power that wiped out many civilizations. Not much else is known other than it wiped out almost all life before vanishing, never to be heard from again. How long ago? I would say at least 500 years ago. Naruto gains a small smile. Kurama is alive. Not only that, but the bastard managed to find a way to beat Akatsuki and destroy the elemental nations. He held no love for the elemental nations. The idea of villages and thousands of people being killed by Kurama didn't bother him in the least. Still, there is the issue that Raven claimed it happened 500 years ago. Raven interrupts his thoughts. How did you know, Kurama? Do you share a connection with the beast? Is it possible that when traveling from dimension to dimension hundreds of years could pass? Time does move different in each plane. A day here could be a month elsewhere, maybe even a year. That supplies him with the answer that he desired. I used to be partners with Kurama. Kurama was not inherently evil, but in the elemental nations he was treated like a slave and used to serve a village that gave him no respect. States Naruto. You two were friends. States Raven. A nod comes from the ninja. The ninja notices the worry in Raven's tone. She is scared that he will summon Kurama to this dimension to do the same thing it did in the elemental nations. I may not care what happened in the elemental nations, but I do care what happens to the people of this world. If he were to come to this world and try the same thing, I would fight him without hesitation, clarifies Naruto. There is a great deal of emotion in his statement. She can tell by that alone that he truly does care for this world. Once again he intrigues her. Raven had thought that he kept his emotions in check like her, but in truth, he just displays them in different manners from other humans. Perhaps that is the reason the demon was unable to affect him. Do you plan to spend your time in this world spying on me? Or continuously keep an eye on those that might try to raise Trigon? Asks Naruto. I have not yet decided on my purpose, admits Raven. I left Azeroth to stop Trigon. Past that, I understand, nods Naruto. He turns around and begins to walk away. The team could use a magic user if you ever have the desire to use your powers for justice. In a cloud of smoke he vanishes. Raven turns around to look out over the city. A thoughtful expression is on her face. November 5th, Mount Justice. Zatanna laughs in amusement. Are you really that nervous about introducing your mom to Naruto? Wouldn't you be if had to introduce a boyfriend to your dad? Not really. Zatanna shrugs. My dad doesn't have a secret identity. Everyone pretty much knows that I am the daughter of Zatara. If a guy can't handle that, then no point in me wasting time dating them. Artemis can't argue with that. Last thing she wants is some wimpy guy that is afraid of her mom. Still, Naruto tends to be very blunt and direct. Her mom finds out that Naruto is the one that is responsible for putting Jade behind bars on 2 separate occasions. It might not be pretty. I just didn't picture our second date being dinner with my mom. More laughter erupts from the younger girl, much to Artemis's ire. I wish I could be there. Can you imagine Naruto making small talk at a dinner table? Zatanna clutches her side. I so hate you right now. Roanoke Island Clarion comes to a stop. This is it. He magically summons an orange crystal that radiates mystic power. Smirking, he thrusts the crystal into the ground. He takes several steps backwards. Now it is time to have some fun with the old band. A magical runic pentagram forms on the ground. Clarion begins to call out powerful sorcerers. Felix Faust. As each name is called out, the sorcerer appears at a corner of the pentagram. Votan, Blackbriar Thorn, and Wizard. Clarion's face morphs into a demonic visage, and an evil smile stretches across his face. He rubs his hands together in glee. Now, time to get to work. Each of them begins to chant. Japan. Do you have a new sword for me yet? No. How long is it going to take? Higurashi throws a dirty look at the brat. Keep bothering me and you will get nothing from me. Naruto is not in the least bit threatened. There are plenty of other weapons shops, including ones online. Artemis introduced him to online shopping a couple days ago. Higurashi heads to the back room. The ninja waits patiently. It takes a minute or two, but the old blacksmith comes back carrying a large object that is wrapped in a cloth. I want you to give this a test. I think it will suit you more than a sword, smirks Higurashi. He drops the object on the counter with a loud thud. I am a ninja. I have no need for such a bulky object, replies Naruto. Just give. The blacksmith suddenly vanishes from the room. Naruto sniffs the air. Higurashi is not in the shop at all. He stares down at the weapon. A single swipe of the hand rips away the cloth. Naruto raises an eyebrow. Interesting. Hefting the weapon up, he throws it onto his back and heads outside to try to find an answer to the missing blacksmith. A black portal opens up in front of him. A powerful mystic spell has been cast. All the adults in the world have been moved, says Raven, stepping out of the portal. Moved? Yes. Are you sure? Raven understands the underlying message. There would have been no point in wasting the extra magic in removing dead bodies. Naruto nods. Point taken. Mount Justice Robin is typing furiously. We have set up a refugee center in the high school gym. Any luck on finding out what happened to all the adults? Asks Wally over the radio. I have tried to raise communications at the hall, Batcave, and Watch Justice League. Nothing at all, answers Robin. Right. Kid flash out. Zatanna stands a few feet from Robin. It looks like everyone 18 and older has disappeared. She pulls up various websites, blogs, and social media pages. Kids all over the world are posting. Recognized Uzumaki Naruto, B07. Naruto appears in a flash of light. He walks over to the main console and begins to type rapidly. A second later, Robin and Zatanna watch as the Zeta tube activates. Access granted Raven, C01. Raven appears in the cave. Robin frowns. Who is that? An ally, answers Naruto. Have you found the ones responsible? The team is working around the clock to help the children while we try to find the source of the problem, states Robin. Wait, do you have information? Naruto gestures towards Raven. I felt a large rise in mystic power before the adults went missing. Whatever the cause, it is magical in nature. If that is the case, I may have a way to find the source. How? Asks Zatanna. I have video footage of Zatara casting a spell that was used to locate the Injustice League. You can use it to find the ones that cast this spell. Robins bring up the footage. Zatanna takes a step back. I can't, it is more than just words. It takes a great deal of training and time. Her head lowers. I am not on Zatara's level. Raven steps forward. Perhaps I can help. We have worked together in the past. I know this is hard, but I believe in you. You can do this. Encourages Robin with a warm smile. Zatanna's worries begin to vanish. She gives a nod. Mount Justice, adult world. Zatara stares at the helmet of fate. He doesn't need to turn around to know that his old friend is behind him. I would do anything to get my daughter back. We will find her and everyone else, promises Batman. So not that desperate, not yet. No. Batman leads the way back to the main monitor. League members are around the world trying to maintain the peace as we try to find a solution to the problem. Captain Marvel is the only League member unaccounted. Where is he? Frowns Zatara. Mount Justice, Kid World. It is nice to meet you. I am Miss Martian, but you can call me Megan. Raven stares at the outstretched hand. Reaching out, she gently takes the offered hand. I am Raven. Miss Martian smiles warmly at the younger girl. I take it that is your code name, right? Raven remains silent. The green-skinned hero shifts nervously. She is suddenly reminded of the first time that she met with Naruto. A bit on the scary side how similar the two behave. Right, well, I look forward to working with you. The team needs more females. Smiles Miss Martian. So she is on the team now? Frowns Superba. No. Naruto walks towards the group. Raven is here to help Zatanna locate the source and nothing else. But she could help us, argues Miss Martian. If we are going up against magic users, she could be useful. Her eyes drift over to Zatanna. No offense. Zatanna gives a small, false smile. None taken. Whoever or whatever cast this spell is powerful. My magic alone will not be enough. Naruto doesn't like the sound of her tone. Usually, Zatanna is confident and walks around with a certain deal of self-assurance. But this entire time at the cave she has been distracted, filled with doubt. He didn't like this side of her at all. Raven is not a member of our team. She has no experience in working with members of the team. It would be a mistake bringing along a new member against an enemy that can cast such powerful magic, states Naruto. I agree, nods Artemis. Hey, last time I checked, the leader of this team is Aqualad. Not the wannabe ninja, says Kid walking over to the group. Artemis glares at Kid. She is about to make a comment, but is interrupted. That is correct, I am the one that you all chose to be leader. and I happen to agree with Naruto. This could be one of the most dangerous threats we face. Bringing along an untrained individual, no matter her powers, would be a liability in the long run, says Aqualad. Kid grumbles under his breath. Zatanna, Raven, please go with Robin. It is time to try to find the cause of the recent situation. Zatanna and Raven head off. Aqualad makes sure to make eye contact with each member of the team before he continues to speak. Once we have the location of the source, we will head out. The entire team? Asks Naruto. What is that supposed to mean? Frowns Kid. Of course we are all going. There is no Justice League, no law enforcement, no adults. If we are all fighting against the enemy, who is helping to keep order? A silence fills the room. Worse, if we happen to fall in battle, this world is left with no backup plan. Did you all forget the psychic simulation? We all stuck together and lost members one by one until none of us were left. Miss Martian lowers her head. Superbo remains silent, but there is an edge in his eyes. Kid for the first time doesn't argue. Artemis places a hand over her stomach where she had been impaled and killed. Aqualad gains a guilty expression. Aqualad looks directly at Naruto. 2 teams? A nod comes from the ninja. If the first team should fail, the second team will at least have basic information on the threat, increasing their chances of success. Robin, Zatanna, and Raven interrupt the conversation. The spell worked. Roanoke Island is the location of the mystic powers at work. A blast of lightning fills the cave. The entire team turns to see a child standing in front of them. Where did you come from? Who are you? Demands Aqualad. Naruto sniffs the air. Captain Marvel, says the ninja. Might want to get your eyes checked. Captain Marvel is not a kid. Geez, Wally, do I have to get you nachos and cheese to get you to remember me? Smirks the kid. Miss Martian's eyes glow a bright green. A gasp escapes the girl. It is true. He is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's secret identity is that of a child? Whispers Robin. I am officially whelmed. The name is Billy Batten. I just came from a world filled with adults. In fact, I was talking to Batman and Zatara a second ago. My dad is alright? Yep, everyone in the league is fine. Well, except for having to deal with crazy adults trying to find their kids. Smirks Billy. Does Batman have a plan? Asks Aqualad. Billy smiles sheepishly. I sort of came here before getting to that. I'll be right back. Shazam! In a blast of lightning, the boy vanishes. The team waits patiently. A minute later, Billy reappears in a flash of lightning. Batman has located the source on Roanoke Island. The spell has split the world in two, so a 2-pronged attack is to be launched. Unfortunately, it is only going to be the 4 of us: Red Tornado, Zatara, Batman, and me. The rest of the league is helping out around the world. Aqualad glances at Naruto. Tell Batman that we are splitting into 2 teams as well. One team will help with keeping order while the other assists in the 2-pronged attack. Got it. Shazam! Alright, now we need to split into 2 teams. Aqualad turns to face everyone. Superboy, Kid, Robin, Artemis, and Raven. Kid smirks victoriously, thinking he is part of the main assault team. The 5 of you will stay behind to help out. What? Dude! Yells Kid. Artemis grips her bow. Why us? Superman, Flash, Batman, and Green Arrow are 4 of the most well-known heroes around the world. You 4 are most likely to be recognized and can garner the respect of the younger generation. Raven is new and will need guidance. Robin, I am placing you in charge of the team. If we should fail, then it will be up to you 5 to finish the mission. Explains Aqualad. The rest of us need to gear up. We head out in 10 minutes. Zatanna enters Wally's personal souvenir room. Her eyes are locked onto the helmet of fate. She walks up to the shelf. Slowly, she begins to raise her arms and her fingers extend towards the helmet. If you put on the helmet, there is no guarantee that you will accomplish the mission. Zatanna jumps in fright. Quickly, she spins around to see Naruto standing a short distance from her. He is staring at her with a knowing look. A frown forms on her face. There is no point in trying to make up some excuse. He has the ability to sense lies. I just want to make sure that my dad is okay. Naruto walks past Zatanna. He grabs the helmet and holds it out to her. Your dad fights evil on a daily basis. At any given moment he can die. Zatanna bites her bottom lip. Do you really think putting on this helmet will change all that? It is easy for you to say, you don't have any family. She gasped in horror. I'm sorry. You didn't answer my question. Zatanna stares deep into those gorgeous ocean blue eyes. Naruto once again offers her the helmet. Is it so wrong of me to want to save my dad? Why are you trying to make me feel so guilty? The ninja steps forward, placing the helmet in her hands. A helmet is not needed to save your dad. You have the power to do it. And if my power is not enough, then you have mine. Not to mention the rest of the team as well. Zatanna's eyes widen. Naruto gives a nod. He leaves the room without another word. She stares down at the helmet of fate. Roanoke Island Clarion is humming a light tune. He is in a great mood. The entire world is in absolute chaos. It has been a long time since he enjoyed so much chaos. Best part is that the longer the spell is active, the greater the chaos grows. He would have more fun if he could see all the chaos in action, but knowing that the world is in a mass panic is good enough for the moment. Shuriken and kunai head at Clarion from opposite directions. A red barrier springs up, deflecting the projectiles. Is that all you got? Smirks Clarion. Zatanna chants, launching a spell of her own. It hits the barrier, doing no damage at all. Really? You think that little kitty magic will work on me? Clarion begins to chant. This is real magic. An invisible blast knocks Zatanna high into the air. I got you! Miss Martian uses her telekinesis to catch Zatanna. We have to take down that barrier! Aqualad charges forward. He manipulates the water into a pair of large hammers. Clarion raises his hand, creating a torrent of flames. The flames slam into Aqualad. Katon, Gokaki no Jutsu! Naruto exhales a giant fireball. It slams into the barrier, causing it to ripple. Clarion grits his teeth. So you like to play with fire, huh? How about you try this? A wave of the hand mutates the fireball into a large snake. The snake slithers towards Naruto with the intent to devour. A wall of water rises up in front of Naruto. The snake slams into the wall of water, filling the entire area with steam. Good work, praises Naruto. That was not as easy as it looked, pants Zatanna. Miss Martian lifts up several large boulders with her telekinesis and tosses them at the mystic barrier. The boulders break upon the barrier. Clarion notices lightning surrounding the crystal. Decided to team up with the grown-ups. Teamwork is overrated. He channels the lightning out of the crystal and directs it at the members of the team. Naruto leaps in front of Zatanna. He reaches into his pouch, drawing a scroll. Biting his thumb, he swipes it across the seal. The scroll explodes in a cloud of smoke. Twin bolts of lightning never get close to the ninja as he swings the newly summoned object. Blades of wind burst forth, cutting through the bolts of lightning. Zatanna blinks, not believing her eyes. Is that a giant fan? It is a battle fan, corrects Naruto. A large fan that is as large as he is tall. The handle is a dark orange, and the fan part is a midnight black with 3 red tomo. I don't get it. I thought you used a sword. What is with the fan? Asks Zatanna. Yeah, talk about girly, taunts Clarion. The Lord of Chaos raises his arms, launching a barrage of crimson magic balls. Naruto grabs Zatanna and dodges with ease. Aqualad manages to avoid 3, but a 4th and 5th blast him backwards. Miss Martian flies high into the air. Clarion creates several magical chains that wrap around the Martian girl. With glee, he slams her straight down into the ground. Naruto leaps high into the air. With one hand, he swings the fan with great force. Kamaitachi no Jutsu! Air currents collide together, forming a tornado that surrounds the mystic barrier. Clarion smirks, reinforcing the barrier to withstand the attack. Clarion laughs. You children should have stayed home. That laughter soon vanishes when a familiar mule draws his attention. Turning, his eyes widen upon seeing his pet cat sucked into the tornado. Tikal! A screech of pain comes from the cat as the wind begins to cut it all over. Clarion begins to fade away. No! The Lord of Chaos summons a powerful blast of magic that destroys the tornado, saving Tikal. Aqualad stands up with a slight wince. Miss Martian, did you see that? He started to fade for some reason. It is the cat. Zatanna explains. Clarion is a Lord of Chaos. I remember my dad told me that Lord of Orders and Chaos need an anchor to stay in our dimension. The cat must be Clarion's anchor. I'll handle Clarion. You all focus on the cat, says Naruto. Miss Martian uses her telekinetic powers to lift Tikal into the air. Want to play with Tikal? Show them what a familiar to a Lord of Chaos can do. Clarion casts a spell that turns Tikal from a defenseless cat into a giant saber-toothed tiger. Your plans will not succeed. Aqualad creates a pair of whips that wrap around Tikal. Tikal roars and uses its newfound strength to stay its ground. Now Zatanna! Zatanna chants before thrusting her arms forward. A wave of fire rises up surrounding Tikal. Clarion seethes in anger. I'll show you, Futon, Kazakiri no Jutsu. Multiple blades of wind slam down upon the barrier. Cracks start to form on the barrier. Clarion turns to glare at Naruto. You lose, states the ninja. If you focus on helping your pet, the barrier weakens. If you focus on me, my team will eventually kill your pet, and you will vanish from this realm. Do you really think you have the power to challenge me? Clarion's face morphs into an evil visage. We shall see. Naruto's eyes bleed red. The Lord of Chaos and Ninja stare each other down. Neither one is willing to back down. Clarion breaks the eye contact upon hearing Tikal's cry of pain. A scowl forms on Clarion's face. His face returns to normal. Another time. Clarion whistles. Tikal stands up and runs over to its master. The red mystic barrier opens. This isn't over, kiddies. Laughing, Clarion leaps into the portal followed by Tikal. Naruto's eyes return to normal. He hefts the war fan onto his back. Higurashi was right. The war fan is a more useful than a sword. It enhances his wind jutsu to really high levels. Is it over? Wonders Miss Martian. Not yet. Aqualad walks over to the stone. We have to find a way to reverse the spell to join the two worlds. Mount Justice Raven notices Naruto watching Zatanna hugging her father, Zatara. Naruto. Artemis walks over towards the two. He turns to face his girlfriend. Do you think you could come over to my place tomorrow for lunch or dinner? My mom really wants to meet you. Also, I kind of promised I would bring you. Sure, nods Naruto. Artemis smiles. She steps forward, capturing her lips with her own. The two kiss for a couple seconds before breaking apart. Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow. With a wave and smile, Artemis takes the Zeta tube back home. Naruto turns to face Raven. I heard you did well. How did it feel? There is a hint of satisfaction in her eyes at the compliment. I enjoyed being able to help others, admits Raven. But I am not sure about the team dynamics. I am not comfortable around so many people. I was the same when I first started. It takes a while to get used to it, but you will find there are people on the team that you can trust. Maybe even learn to call them friends like I do. Raven remains silent, thinking deeply on his words. Naruto heads over to the Zeta tubes. In a flash of light he is gone. Chapter 18 Downtime. Artemis. Paula rolls into her daughter's room to find it a mess. There are clothes and shoes all over the place. Her daughter is not the neatest of people, but she has never been this messy. Ugh, why can't I find anything that matches? Curses Artemis, staring at her closest. Chuckling, Paula leaves the room. It is nice to see her daughter acting like a normal girl. After everything that has happened over the years, she is glad that Artemis didn't follow in the footsteps in her father and sister. She is not thrilled that Artemis is out playing hero, but it is better than the alternative. As she enters the kitchen to finish making the last preparations for dinner, Paula's mind drifts to the young man that is dating her daughter. Uzumaki Naruto is a young hero that popped up around a year ago. He possesses no secret identity. According to her old friends, Uzumaki Naruto is beloved by the entire country of Japan. Other stories that she heard are that the kid is as cold as ice. A few have compared him to the Dark Knight of Gotham. As much as she respects Batman, she never liked the hero. There is a coldness in that man. She truly hopes that Naruto doesn't possess that same aura. A knock at the door interrupts her thoughts. "Artemis, I believe your guest is here," shouts Paula. "I'll be there in a minute. I am going to answer the door." Rolling over to the door, she grabs the knob and gives it a turn. The door swings open to reveal a handsome teen. He wears a plain black t-shirt, baggy blue jeans, and clean white sneakers. "Hello, I am Uzumaki Naruto," greets the teen. "I have been expected you. I am Paula, Artemis's mother. Please come in." Naruto enters into the small apartment. He makes sure to close the door. "Dinner will be ready in about 10 minutes. Artemis is getting ready, so please have a seat at the table." Paula leads him over to a small table that can barely fit 3 people. With a small nod, he takes a seat. Paula glances at the quiet teen who stares back at her with an unreadable expression. Those eyes, thinks Paula. She has seen such eyes. Those are the same type of eyes that she used to possess. Eyes that not only have seen death, but dealt it out. Naruto watches as Paula heads back into the kitchen. Even in a wheelchair, it is obvious to him that she was an assassin like him. Her eyes instantly analyzed his body type the moment she opened the door. She was trying to find vulnerabilities before he even got his name out. He would have liked the chance to fight her back when she was in her prime. It might be a bit one-sided, but he is sure that a fight against her would have been fun, like when he spars against Canary. The sound of footsteps draws his attention. Artemis comes into the living room. Naruto stands up. She is wearing a spaghetti-strapped white top that reveals a good amount of cleavage, skinny black jeans, and her bare feet have a fresh coat of dark green nail polish. "Hey," smiles Artemis. "Sorry, I was trying to find the proper outfit." "You look good." Artemis smirks. "Thanks." She walks up to him. Both of them take a seat. "My mom hasn't been grilling you or anything?" "I heard that." A groan escapes the girl. "She went to the kitchen after letting me in the house," says Naruto. "Are you all right? You seem worried." "I am fine," says Artemis. Naruto nods. "Thanks for coming. Never thought our second date would be meeting my mom. Is it really that big of a deal? She can be a little overprotective." Naruto gives a shrug. "When you care about someone, it is only natural to want to protect them. It is something that I have learned while being on the team." Artemis smiles warmly. "Yeah, I guess you are right. You got my daughter to see things from my perspective. I am starting to like you," smirks Paula. Artemis rolls her eyes. "Artemis, come help me set the table, please. I'll get the plates, don't worry about it." "Thank you," smiles Paula. Naruto stares at the woman. "You are very mature for your age. There is no need to act nice. I am used to people not liking me," says Naruto bluntly. Paula loses the smile. "I am willing to make sacrifices if it makes my daughter happy. I have been doing it my entire life." Naruto gains a pensive expression. "I see." He never thought to look at it from that angle. Is that what it means to love someone? Paula puts on a warm smile as Artemis returns with the dishes. "I hope you enjoy it," smiles Paula. "Thank you," says Naruto. Break Robin blocks a punch and redirects it to the side. He steps around the attacker. "You are putting too much weight into the punch. It is leaving you wide open." Zatanna turns around, raising up her arms. "Why did I agree to come to training?" Robin chuckles in amusement. He avoids several more jabs. In a swift move, he sweeps out her legs. Zatanna groans in pain as she hits the ground. "Well, if you are going to be a permanent member of the team, you need to learn fight in situations without your powers. This is a stealth team and your powers require sound," explains Robin. Zatanna gives him a deadpan expression. He flushes in embarrassment, realizing that the question was rhetorical. I am glad that your father decided to let you join the team. Kelder walks towards the two. A friendly smile is on his face. My own talent in the mystic arts pales in comparison to your talents. Your abilities will help to balance us out. Here I thought you wanted me on the team because we are friends, teases Zatanna. Kelder smiles in amusement. She pushes a strand of hair out of her face. I am glad that my father let me join the team. After that last mission, she had pressed her father to let her join the team. Naruto made her realize that she was weak and scared. It is a feeling that she never wanted to feel again. Yeah, your first assignment on the team will be to help Miss Martian set up Wally's surprise party, laughs Robin. He is not going to let that go, is he? Says Zatanna with a hint of amusement. Highly unlikely. Robin shakes his head with an amused smile. I think he is hoping that Megan will give him some type of special birthday gift. Kelder gains a slight frown. We really should tell him. How does he not know? It is so obvious, says Zatanna. Fast on his feet, not so fast in other areas, smirks Robin. A holographic screen appears in front of the three. Hey, Superba and I are returning from the grocery store. Can you three help us bring in the groceries? I need to get started on the baking for the party tomorrow. You three can help Superba with the decorations, smiles Megan. Robin and Zatanna are not so thrilled by the idea. We will be happy to help, reassures Kelder. The screen closes. Let's get going. I should have never complained about training, sighs Zatanna. Robin laughs. Gotham Naruto bows respectfully. I appreciate the dinner. It was delicious. Paula puts on a false smile. I am glad you enjoyed it. It was nice meeting you. Artemis glances between the two. It has been like this all day. She pushes Naruto out the front door. I'll be back home in a couple hours, says the girl. Paula frowns as the door shuts. Outside, Artemis and Naruto are walking down the sidewalk. I am sorry about that. My mom is usually not that rude, apologizes Artemis. She was not rude. I would have acted in the same manner, replies Naruto. Artemis looks at him in confusion. Your mother is a former assassin. That type of training never disappears. She recognized that I also have a similar type of training. My presence put her on edge. I am confused. Naruto gains a pensive expression. Imagine being in the same room as your father. Would you let down your guard? Hell no! Artemis blinks. Wait, but she doesn't even know you. You are not an assassin. I had a life in the elemental nations that was not a heroic one. I have certain mannerisms that are unrecognizable to the untrained eye, but to those that are trained in heavily in such arts, it tends to stand out. Still, Artemis, I would have acted in the same manner if in the room with someone I felt was a threat. There is no reason to be upset, reassures Naruto. A smile appears on her face. She leans into his side. He glances down at her. Thanks for coming over even if it was extremely awkward. Smiles Artemis. I had a good time. You have a weird version of a good time. I tend to have a good time whenever I am spending time with you. Artemis blushes a bright red. She grabs his arm, forcing him to look at her. Naruto doesn't resist as he is pulled into a passionate kiss. A kiss that he eagerly returns. Despite that nonchalant exterior, you can say some of the sweetest things. Smiles Artemis. Naruto places his hands on her waist. Sweet? He tilts his head in a cute gesture. I was just telling the truth. Shut up and take the compliment. Artemis pulls him into another kiss. He decides to take her advice. Bell Reve, a cracking sound fills the air. Icicle Sr. stumbles backwards. He reaches up to rub his jaw. That was a mistake. One I am not going to let you live to regret, states the villain. Harm is not afraid of you. Harm will show you who is truly at the top of the food chain, smirks Harm. Blockbuster comes up behind Harm, intent on grabbing the brat. Sensing the danger, Harm leaps over the giant, but a large fist slams into his back, shooting him towards Icicle Sr., whom delivers a clothesline that knocks Harm hard on his back. Blockbuster slams his giant foot down upon Harm's chest, causing the boy to spit out blood. Icicle Sr. kneels down with a cocky smirk. Harm is your name, right? A good name. Get straight to the point. A right hook fills Harm's vision with black spots. This will be your last warning. Know your place or I will make one for you, 6 feet under the prison. Got it? Icicle Sr. stands up. A simple nod is all that is needed to have Blockbuster and Mammoth follow him. Others that gathered start to disperse, not offering the idiot boy any help. Harm rolls over onto his chest. He coughs up several more blobs of blood. Gritting, he punches the floor in anger. How could this happen to him? He sacrificed everything to make his heart pure and unlock true power. Instead of ruling over others, he is stuck in this filthy place with all these impure hearts. You are weak. Who said that? Harm lifts up his head in anger. He looks around in confusion. There is no one around. I can offer you true power. Harm tries to find the source of the voice. Do you want true power? The power to get revenge on the one that put you here. Anger and rage burns in Harm's eyes. The area over his heart begins to glow crimson with magical power. Uzumaki Naruto, whispers Harm. I will have his head. Serve me and spread my name throughout the world. In exchange, you shall have the power to kill all your enemies. Serve? Harm stands up with a defiant expression. Harm serves no one. The voice doesn't respond. He waits a few seconds, but all that greets him is silence. Scowling, he limps towards the cafeteria. Mount Justice, November 11. Connor folds his arms across his chest. This is a waste of time. Why are we pretending that he doesn't already know about the party? Naruto gives a shrug. I find it similar to the fact that you and Megan continue to try to hide the fact that the two of you are dating despite everyone already in the know. Connor falls silent. I have to agree with that sentiment. Calder places a hand on Connor's shoulder. I know you are doing it because she wishes to spare hurting Wally's feelings, but I believe it is time to let him know. Good luck trying to convince her of that, replies Connor. All right, everyone, I am turning off the lights. Wally will be here soon. The kitchen and living room go dark. Connor and Calder go to move when both notice that Naruto is gone. Shaking their heads, the two find their own hiding spots. Artemis and Zatanna are sitting behind the couch. This is a nice chance of pace. I really needed a break from all the training, whispers Zatanna. Artemis smirks, remembering her own aches and pains when she first started to train with the team. It has to be twice as hard for Zatanna. Zatara is making sure that his little girl is as prepared as possible. The usual sardonic and cocky Zatanna has been walking around in a defeated manner. Hey, at least you were allowed on the team. That is half the battle, smiles Artemis. Zatanna gives her friend a knowing expression. Enjoying my misery, are you? A little bit. Do you think that Naruto invited Raven? Asks Zatanna. I was hoping she would be here. I offered it to her. Artemis and Zatanna jump in twin gasps. Both turn to see Naruto sitting on Artemis's left. He is staring up at the ceiling with a bored expression. Raven did not want to intrude, so decided to stay in Japan. Zatanna blinks. Wait, does she live with you? Naruto gives a nod. Artemis's eyes narrow. Jealously flares up. You never told me that she was living with you. Naruto tilts his head. I did not know that it mattered. I have a spare bedroom in one of my apartments. She has been helping me lately with the recent wave of crime. I thought it only proper I extend her a place to stay. That is really sweet, smiles Zatanna. Yeah, mumbles Artemis. He is here. Everyone come on out in 3, 2, 1. The lights flood on. Everyone comes out of hiding. Surprise! Yells the team. Flash, Red Tornado, and Canary wave at the guest of honor. Wally gasps in pretend surprise. A surprise party! Guys, I had no idea. Yeah, like you haven't been hinting at it all week, smirks Robin. Happy birthday, Wally! Megan flies over to the birthday boy with her usual warm smile. She places a birthday hat on his head. Come on, I made you 2 cakes, babe, you are the best. Artemis walks over to Naruto carrying a plate with a slice of cake. He takes the plate. Thank you, says Naruto. Without hesitation, he begins to dig into the slice. Megan is excellent at making food. As expected, the cake is moist, sweet, and delicious. This is a nice party. Yeah, mutters Artemis. The whole issue with Raven and Naruto living together bothers her. She doesn't like the idea of another girl staying with her boyfriend. Raven did save her life on that mission, but Artemis is already competing with Zatanna for Naruto's attention. Not to mention that Naruto's best friend is a pretty Martian girl that can shape-shift into any woman in the universe. It is starting to seem like Naruto is drawing all this female attention. How is she supposed to compete? Is there something bothering you? No, I don't want to talk about it. Naruto nods in understanding. Okay. He is not going to push the issue. Artemis will talk to him when she is ready. His eyes drift over towards Wally. The speedster is desperately trying to get a kiss from Megan. After a minute, Megan responds with giving him a kiss on the forehead. A look of disappointment is on Wally's face. I respect the fact that he never gives up, thinks Naruto. Zatanna comes up on Naruto's right. Someone really needs to tell him. It is becoming less fun and more on the sad side. Allow me. Calder walks past the 3 towards Wally. The 3 of them watch as Calder breaks the news to Wally. Wally glances over at Megan and Connor. He sulks in depression. I think a part of him knew, or he would be a bit more upset, says Naruto. Talk about being in denial, says Zatanna with a shake of the head. Batman to the team. Head to the control room for mission update. Asai escapes the young witch. Well, the party was fun while it lasted. Naruto nods as he follows her out of the room. Artemis quietly follows the 2 glad for the mission. She needs to clear her head. Chapter 19. Strange Situations and Doubts. Connor throws several jabs. Canary redirects them all with ease. He throws a right hook, but she ducks under it, and performs a leg sweep that knocks him flat on his back. A smirk appears on the woman's face. Not bad, you are getting better. Canary offers her hand. Taking her hand, he allows her to help him stand up. With a firm grip, she pulls him close and wraps her arms around his neck. I think your effort deserves a reward. Canary smiles seductively. She pulls him into a passionate kiss. Connor wraps his arms around her waist just above her nicely shaped butt. Is this common in the training room? No, this must be a special training simulation. Connor and Canary break apart. The 2 turn around to see Naruto and Raven staring at them. There is a hint of amusement in Naruto's eyes. It is not what you think, splutters Canary. Connor gains a red hue to his cheeks. He turns away, refusing to meet anyone's eyes. We just got a bit carried away. Naruto raises an eyebrow. Connor whispers to Canary. Blushing, Canary transforms back into a green-skinned Martian girl. Naruto, there is no reason to feel embarrassed. I have no issue with you 2 making out. But if you don't mind, I would like to train with Raven a bit. Interrupts Naruto with a small smile. Megan smiles gratefully. Flying over to the ninja, she gives him a hug. Thanks, we will let you 2 have the room. I need to get started on making lunch. Connor gives a small nod before leaving with his girlfriend. Raven looks questioningly at Naruto. Is it common to change one's appearance to satisfy the desires of one's partner? Not sure. Naruto begins to type on the holographic keyboard. He is setting up the training simulation that he wishes to run with Raven. I have seen many different types of intimate acts. Dressing up as another seems to be a popular one. Interesting. One final tap of the button causes the room to transform. Light bends to create a virtual city that is an exact replica of Metropolis. You have 5 minutes to hide. The goal of this training simulation will be to avoid being caught by me for 10 minutes. Ready? Raven nods. Go, orders Naruto. He watches as she flies off into the distance. Batcave Bruce leans back in his chair. A frown forms on his face. It has been over a month since the Riddler escaped from Belle Reve. There have been no signs of the villain. Riddler is the type of person that enjoys flaunting his genius. The villain will even come up with overly elaborate plans to show his superiority. So why wasn't the Riddler flaunting his escape of Belle Reve? No one has ever escaped from the maximum security prison. It is unlike the Riddler to keep such an accomplishment on the down low. What are you to Nigma? This question is plaguing the Dark Knight. A beeping sound interrupts his thoughts. He presses a button to bring up images from Mount Justice. Bruce raises an eyebrow at the footage. For a second he cracks a smile knowing that this is going to be a fun conversation. He can already picture her reaction. Star City. I told you it would be a good movie. Good is taking it a bit far. Oh come on, admit that you liked it. It was entertaining. Oliver shakes his head. He can never seem to win with this woman. Dinah smiles playfully. She truly enjoys messing with him. It was a good movie, but she is not about to admit that he is right. That would ruin all her fun. What did you plan on taking me for dinner? Asks Dinah. A beeping sound causes each of them to pause. Dinah lifts a hand to her ear. Yes? I need you to report to the cave as soon as possible. Batman out. A grumble escapes Oliver. I swear that man takes joy in ruining my fun. We better head back to the cave. I hope the team is alright. Mount Justice Raven is on her knees panting heavily. Sweat drips down her face. Her hood that usually shadows her face is gone, lost during the training. The rest of her outfit is in bad condition. Naruto stares at Batman with an upset expression. Our training was not over. There is an issue that happened earlier that needs to be addressed. Batman glances over at Raven. His eyes travel back over to the ninja. Take a break. It will not take long to resolve the matter. Raven is not one to show emotion, but at the hearing the word break her body visibly relaxes. She releases a sigh of relief. The training was the toughest thing she ever had to endure. Naruto is an absolute monster. Not even when she first started to learn to use magic did she ever go through such hardship. He pushed her magically, physically, and mentally to her limits. And he did it without breaking a sweat. Naruto glances at Batman, Red Tornado, and Martian Manhunter. This is an argument that he is not going to win. Besides, the cave does belong to the Justice League. He gives a nod. I understand. Without another word, the ninja leaves in the direction of the kitchen. Raven stands up tiredly and follows him. On the way out of the room, Naruto catches the sound of the new arrivals. Recognize 13, Black Canary. Recognize 08, Green Arrow. Naruto decides not to pry any further. Justice League business is not his to pry into. Mount Justice. If you were tired, you should have said something. Raven remains silent. Naruto stares at her, awaiting an answer. I apologize, but I did not wish to end the training that you had worked to set up. Naruto surprises Raven by giving a light shove that knocks her butt first onto the couch. Sit down and relax. I am going to see if Connor wants to train for a bit. Raven blinks. She watches as he walks off. That is not the response that she expected. The ninja walks down the hallway that leads to Connor's room. He takes a sniff of the air and realizes in a second that Connor is not in his room. Megan is in her room though, perhaps she might want to train. He never liked the way things ended with Simon and Baila. Next time he fought a psychic, he wanted to have a fighting chance, and not rely on others. Those plans are derailed when the sound of heavy footsteps interrupts his thought. He turns around to see Canary marching down the hallway in anger. She is not in her usual outfit. Instead, she is in a casual outfit. A black jacket over a white top that shows a nice amount of cleavage, skinny blue jeans, and a pair of black high heels. All in all, she looks downright sexy. You seem upset. Naruto states the obvious. I am not in the mood, glares Canary. She is about to pass him, but pauses. The woman turns to face him with a stern expression. How could you be so nonchalant? Naruto stares at her with a confused look. Do not play dumb with me. I know you saw Megan pretending to be me when she decided to have a make-out session with Superbo. I did. Canary narrows her eyes. You didn't think that was wrong? Naruto tilts his head. Why do you think it is wrong? Changing into other people and doing things with their bodies is highly inappropriate. How would you feel if I had the power to change into you and made you do things that you didn't like? Transformation. In a cloud of smoke, Naruto transforms in Canary. I was raised among ninja that had the power to transform into others. This is one of the weakest and most common jutsu. Naruto reverts back to normal in another cloud of smoke. I assure you that I have used it many times. That doesn't make it right. And you didn't answer my question. Megan could change into me right now and make out with Connor in public. I wouldn't care at all. I would find it a bit strange, but I could care less. Shrugs Naruto. People dress up as members of the Justice League all the time. There is a whole holiday dedicated to dressing up. Canary rubs her temples. First of all, you should care when people do things in your image. It could reflect badly on you depending on their actions. Second, a holiday and people dressing up as us are different matters. They are honoring us. You really believe all of them are dressing up as you to honor you? Naruto raises an eyebrow. I am sure I can find multiple sites on the internet that suggest otherwise. A silence develops between them. Canary is starting to lose her anger. Her more rational mind is starting to overtake the initial anger. Naruto does make a valid point. Not everyone on the planet that dresses in her image is doing it as a sign of respect. She has seen her fair share of acts of everyday people dressed as various heroes and villains that make her shiver in disgust. Naruto scratches the back of his head. I think you are taking it too personally, senpai. Megan was having a little fun. She wasn't trying to disrespect you. Be that as it may, I do not like having to explain to my teammates and friends that it was not me on that video kissing a minor. Retorts Canary. Then it is a matter of privacy. Clarifies Naruto. Explain to Megan that if she is going to participate in such acts in the future that it is needs to be done in private, not in plain view where it puts your reputation in question. Canary frowns. You want me to tell her that she can keep using my body or the bodies of others to have fun as long as it is done in private. The Justice League exists to protect the rights of everyone on the planet. It is not an organization that plays jury and executioner. That is the speech you fed to me. Megan has the right to do as she pleases in private with whomever she desires. A sign escapes the woman. Naruto gave her the exact same argument as John. Of course, John had tried to justify it with differences in cultures. The little brat had managed to take a more logical standpoint, even drawing examples from others and the internet. Fine, concedes Canary. But I am still mad. I never got a chance to finish my training with Raven. Want to spar for a bit? Canary smirks. Give me a moment to speak with Megan. I'll meet you in the training area. Japan Deathstroke kicks open a door, already expecting to find the room empty. The assassin enters into the empty bedroom trying to find any sign that will lead him to find the one that he is after. He speaks in a condescending manner to the other person in the room. Your tracking skills are not as impressive as I was led to believe. A hissing sound comes from behind. Says the one that came to me for help. Deathstroke barely avoids a swipe of the tail. He narrows his one good eye upon the snake woman. Do not forget that I am the one that will take the child's head. If you lay a finger on him, I will show you how deadly my fangs are. Hisses Copperhead. We will settle our business later. Promises Deathstroke. Bet on it. Copperhead takes a moment to sniff around the room. There is no scent here to track. He hasn't lived here in weeks. Deathstroke is not pleased with that answer. He has a personal score to settle with the child. But on another note, he has a client that is paying top dollar for the brat's capture. Not once has he ever failed to complete a contract. His eyes spot a glint of light. Copperhead. It is too late. The snake woman steps on the wire. An explosion causes several people outside to gasp in horror. People begin to gather around, taking pictures and alerting the emergency services. On the top floor, Deathstroke emerges from under a beam. I have to give it to the child. He is resourceful. The assassin stands up with a small grunt. Deathstroke turns to see Cobra lying unconscious a short distance from him. The explosion was designed to take out the ceiling to trap intruders, not kill. Deathstroke walks over to Copperhead. Unfortunately, he couldn't leave behind any loose ends. Copperhead still had her uses. Picking her up, he makes his escape. Mount Justice. President Harjavti is the first elected president of Kurak. Batman pulls up an image of President Harjavti shaking hands with billionaire Bruce Wayne. He is praised as a fair leader and a humanitarian. Kid smirks, nudging Robin. Sure, any friend of Bruce Wayne. Robin ignores his best friend. A week ago, President Harjavti started to support the baseless claims from the ruler of the neighboring country of Baila, Queen Bee, that in ancient times the two countries were one. A video appears on the female leader appears. The team listens. I laud President Harjavti on his decision to join our two countries. It is with great honor that I will take over as the true monarch of our country. Smiles Queen Bee. Superbee scowls. Not a fan. Miss Martian steps forward. Surely the people in Kurak are not happy with this development. Batman pulls up footage of people protesting. The people of Kurak are well aware of Queen Bee's tyrannical rule. New footage comes up of the Baila army suppressing the citizens. Unfortunately, the president has given permission for the Baila army to enter its borders and maintain order. No doubt she is using her powers to enthrall the president. Frowns Robin. It is true that she has the power to enthrall men and some women, but not over long distance. All our reports have shown that she has not entered Kurak during this time period. There is something else at work. A beeping sound interrupts the conversation. All turn to see Naruto glancing down at his right arm. The ninja pulls up an image. It shows news footage in Japan. Naruto immediately recognizes the building. H closes the image. I have a matter to handle. I am afraid that I will not be able to join this mission. Raven will have to take my spot, says the ninja. Miss Martian looks at Naruto with a worried expression. Is everything all right? Naruto glances at Miss Martian. I will be fine. Batman allows Naruto to leave. He had planned on putting the ninja in charge of the mission, but this gave him the perfect opportunity to give Robin more of a leadership role. In a flash of light, Naruto disappears from the cave. Japan Higurashi puts up the close sign on the door. He turns around and doesn't even flinch upon seeing an unwelcome guest. Most people tend to use the door, says the blacksmith. One of my safe houses has been compromised, reports Naruto. It is possible in time that the ones trying to find me might find you. A dismissive wave comes from the old man. If you are worried about whether I will talk. Higurashi notices the lack of response from his words. The blacksmith gains a smirk of victory. Or is it that cold-blooded ninja is actually concerned about my safety? Naruto keeps a neutral expression. This is not a joke. Laughter erupts from the elder man. Higurashi walks past Naruto. He goes around the counter and reaches under it to pull out a snack. Brat, I lived a good life. This past year is the most fun I had in a long time. If you think that the threat of death scares me, think again. So go on and get out of here. I have to finish the project that I am working on, states Higurashi. The blacksmith heads to the back of the shop. Naruto stands there not saying a word. He is conflicted on the matter. All that time he spent as a missing ninja taught him that when being hunted it is time to leave. But he is the one that made the decision to not have a secret identity. The moment he chose not to have a secret identity, that being hunted by his enemies is a huge possibility. A possibility that is now a reality. Truthfully, he is not concerned about his own safety. So far he had come across 3 enemies that had the power to fight on equal ground with him: Amazo, Votan, and Black Adam. Amazo is destroyed with the parts in Justice League custody. Votan is powerful, but Naruto is confident that the two of them are equals. Black Adam is the only opponent he faced that is above him in terms of strength and speed. None of those 3 would waste time in being discreet by hunting him down one safe house at a time. It is more likely that the League of Shadows is trying to track him. And an organization like that will do whatever possible to find him. Raven is strong enough to handle herself, but Higurashi is a civilian. The blacksmith has been a huge ally and a good friend. I don't want anything to happen to him, thinks Naruto. For the first time, he is starting to regret not creating a secret identity. A determined expression forms on his face. He will not let harm come to his friends. In a swirl of leaves he vanishes into thin air. Chapter 20 Darkness Rising. Naruto! Naruto and Raven look up to see Megan and Connor walking towards them. Naruto is surprised that Connor is with her. He did not expect the boy to tag along. Megan always invites Connor, but he never accepts the invitation to hang out with them. Mega Connor! Greets Naruto. Raven bows politely to the pair. Hey! Grunts Connor. Megan smiles excitedly. I finally got him to agree to come out on a double date. I mean, not that you two are dating. I know you are dating, I understand, says Naruto. It is my first time in Happy Harbor in such a manner. We will follow your lead. He notices Raven shift uncomfortably. She is not used to being out in such a casual manner. Like he used to be, she does not like the idea of spending time in public, especially out of her usual clothes. Raven is wearing a red sweat jacket with a hoodie, white jeans, and a pair of black sneakers. If not for the fact that he knows that she is a female, he might mistake her for a boy. I thought we would go see a movie, then I know a great place to have lunch. It is right next to this cupcake store that we can go to afterwards for dessert, beams Megan. Connor gains a resigned expression. There is no stopping this double date. He'd much rather be spending time in the cave alone with his girlfriend, but Megan wants to do things that a normal couple do. Come on, Connor! Megan walks close to Raven and begins to chatter away. Connor glances at Naruto. How come you didn't invite Artemis? I did, but as you know, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. She is helping her mom prepare for it. I did not fully understand it, but apparently she has a tradition with her mom that they do every year. So she is unavailable for the next couple days, answers Naruto. Megan invite you, yes. Are you coming? Yes. Good, says Connor relieved. I didn't want to be the only one there from the team. I am sure I would get stuck helping with the cooking. Naruto frowns. He understands Connor's displeasure. Megan can be a bit excitable when it comes to cooking. She is a great cook, but he prefers to stand to the side than be in the heat of the action. The others? A shrug comes from the clone. Wally and Zatanna are spending it with their families. Robin made up some excuse. Calder is going to Atlantis. Naruto knew that Wally and Zatanna would spend the holiday with their families. Robin comes and goes as he pleases. The boy wonder follows Batman's instructions, so there is never a guarantee he will be around during free time. Calder is a surprise though. Usually the team leader shows up to such events. I suppose Calder wants to return home from time to time, thinks Naruto. Unknown location. A beautiful woman enters in a wide chamber fit to house a king. Each step she takes is calculated and doesn't make a single sound. There is a light sway in her hips meant to entice the eyes of men and women alike. Upon reaching her destination, she kneels down in respect. Father, I have received information regarding the Justice League. It would seem tomorrow that the League will be holding a vote to invite new members to join the League. You have done well, Talia. R.A. stands up. He walks over to his daughter with a pleased smile. A simple nod of the head frees her to rise. She does so obediently. He heads out of the room with her following like a proper soldier. Do you think the League will promote it? Asks Talia. We have done all that we can at this point to get it the recognition needed to be a member of the League. Unfortunately, this part is out of our control. It is obvious that the fact R.A. has to admit that he is unable to influence an outcome in his favor bothers him a great deal. Any word from our agents? Asks R.A. Talia gains a hint of anger in her eyes. No, Deathstroke and Copperhead have failed to find Uzumaki Naruto. The boy's name is spoken in venom. Upon reaching a balcony that overlooks the entire compound, R.A. turns to face his daughter. He reaches up, gently caressing her cheek. She leans into his touch affectionately. Lose the anger, my daughter. I have plans for that child. The power that he possesses, it could help us change the world. Smiles Ari. He will not join us willingly. A minor problem. What about the light? I know that all of them want the child dead. A chuckle of amusement escapes the immortal. My associates need not be concerned with my private matters. Ra turns around to stare out over the compound. Hundreds upon hundreds of assassins are training in order to serve his every command. I require a strong heir to take over. Uzumaki Naruto possesses the power to lead the League of Shadows into the future. I used to believe that the detective would be the one to take over, but I was wrong. I will have the child and he will accept his destiny. Smirks Ari. Talia remains silent. It is not her place to disagree with her father. At least not out in the open. November 25th. Watchtower. Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman stare out the large window watching as the sun rises. It is a magnificent sight that few ever get the pleasure to see. The three stand in complete silence. There is no need for them to speak. Each of them knows the importance of this day. It is time. All three turn around to see Aquaman. Everyone is ready. Aquaman leads the way to the main conference room. Every single member of the Justice League is waiting inside the room. The Watchtower goes into complete lockdown. Our agent is clear. What is at stake should not be underestimated, states Aquaman. The decisions we make today will reverberate for the years to come, continues Superman, and will influence how the world will continue to see us, adds Wonder Woman. Please take a seat, we have work to do, finishes Batman. One by one the members take a seat at the table. A miniature holographic screen pops up in front of them. Once everyone is seated, Martian Manhunter speaks. Another expansion of the League could increase hostilities by our enemies. No one wants another Injustice League. That is true, but the option remains to vote no on all candidates. So I nominated Icon for League membership, smiles Superman. An image of a tall, muscular, dark-skinned man appears in the middle of the table. Why? Because you think he could be Kryptonian like you did with Captain Marvel? Questions Green Arrow. Wonder Woman comes to the aid of Superman. I am also interested in Icon. But I am also interested in his protege Rocket. A holographic image of a dark-skinned girl appears. Athena knows the League could use more female members. Here, here. Agreed. Mount Justice. Gobble, gobble. Wally grabs a handful of cranberries. I love Thanksgiving. He begins to munch on the cranberries without a care in the world. As he is about to reach for another handful, the wooden spoon rises up, smacking his hand. Ow! Megan gives him a playful, stern look. Wally, stop eating the food! A sigh escapes the green-skinned Martian girl. I thought you were spending the holiday with your family. Wally sits up. Right. My day will kill me if I am late. Later! He grabs one last handful of cranberries before running off. Megan shakes her head. You are not even going to offer to help me cook? Megan looks over at her boyfriend. Connor is sitting on the couch trying to be invisible. How about you? Her eyes turn to look at the other member of the team in the room. Naruto is staring at the ceiling with a bored expression. Connor is about to speak, but he freezes up. Naruto hears a strange buzzing sound. He looks around trying to get a lock on it. His eyes notice that Wolf is on edge. The buzzing sound soon vanishes. I'll help later. Connor stands up. But remember last time I helped in the kitchen? Connor begins to walk away. I am going to talk Wolf for a walk. Come on, boy. A frown forms on her face. I guess so. Naruto stands up and heads into the kitchen. He knows that Connor is lying. The team seems to forget that he has the power to detect lies. I am not good in the kitchen. I can help with that. Zatanna. Zatanna is almost tackled to the ground by Megan's hug. What are you doing here? I thought you were spending the holiday with your dad. Not that I am not happy to see you. Smiles Megan. There is a special meeting being held by the Justice League. Dad and I are going to spend dinner together, so I am free to join you all for lunch. Smiles Zatanna. Looks like you could use the help in the kitchen. Megan giggles. Any chance you know how to season a turkey? Naruto is good at following directions, but doesn't have much talent in creating flavors. Naruto gives a shrug. It is the truth. As long as it is cooked, it usually tastes good. When one lives on the run, one learns to not be too picky with any food that is found. A light laughter comes from the younger girl. I can handle that. I know a few tricks. Winks Zatanna. As she heads over to the turkey, she glances over at Naruto. Where is Raven? Naruto leans against the counter. Raven is still learning how to interact with others. She needs time on her own after the time spent in public yesterday. Did she not have fun? Worries Megan. I didn't mean you did nothing wrong. Interrupts Naruto. Raven had a good time. All she needs is time on her own. Zatanna smiles. It amuses her that Naruto is able to quiet the rambling Martian girl in such a manner. The others tend to let Megan ramble on and on until the girl is out of breath. Megan gains a relieved expression. All right then, you can help with the mashed potatoes. A bowl floats over towards the ninja. Naruto grabs the bowl and gets to work. Watchtower Batman hits a button. I nominate the Atom. An image of a tiny man appears. The Atom? Captain Marvel chuckles in amusement. How useful can he be at that size? It is the size that makes him useful, states Batman. Agreed, says Flash. But the League can always use more raw power. Earth does have a third Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, no? Flash turns to look at Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. But, no, state the two lanterns. Japan Higurashi stares down at the masterpiece. It is the finest creation that he ever made. A rare, true smile makes his way onto his face. The brat better appreciate all the work that he put into this. A ringing sound catches the blacksmith's attention. He had the shop closed today. Higurashi places his masterpiece in a hidden vault. Moving several items, he heads out to the front. The store is close. A frown settles on his face to find the shop empty. Higurashi walks over towards the front door. It is locked. But he is sure that he heard the bell. Old age must be. He turns around to find a sword tipped directly between his eyes. Old age indeed. What do you want? Glares Higurashi. He stares at the masked man with a full suit of black body armor with no fear in his eyes. If you are looking for a weapon, come by tomorrow between the hours. A blow to the back of the knees elicits a cry from the store owner. Higurashi falls to his knees. A tail curls around his neck and begins to squeeze. So much attitude. I would be careful with your words or I'll pop your head right off. Hisses Copperhead with a gleeful smile. Deathstroke kneels down. I want to know the location of Uzumaki Naruto. If you want to find Japan's hero, you should commit a bigger crime than robbing me. Smirks Higurashi. He grits his teeth as the tail around his neck tightens. It is faint, but I can smell his scent. He was here not too long ago. Hisses Copperhead. Japan's hero doesn't have a secret identity. Higurashi gives a grunted chuckle. You going to attack every single place he visits? I am sure that will get his attention. Just try not to get beat up too fast. Copperhead hisses in anger. A swing of the tail sends Higurashi flying into several shelves. The old man cries out in pain as several of his weapons on display cut into his back. Higurashi never gets a chance to stand when he is grabbed by the shirt and lifted into the air. Deathstroke stares at the man. If you give me the information I want, your death will be quick and painless. Copperhead narrows her eyes. Painless? I think not. Deathstroke points a gun straight at the female snake villain. She hisses, crouching into a fighting stance. Higurashi gives Deathstroke a cocky smile. Go ahead and do it. Deathstroke narrows his good eye. He releases the blacksmith. Higurashi drops to all fours. Coughing a few times, Higurashi raises his head, never losing the cocky smile. It will be the last mistake you will ever make. The power that boy holds is incredible. He chose the path of a hero, But he has the same eyes as you. The eyes of a trained warrior. If you keep pushing, he will change his path and then there will be no hope for you. I see. Deathstroke squeezes the trigger. A gunshot fills the shop. Higurashi drops to the ground dead. Now how do you expect to find him? Glares Copperhead. Didn't you hear the fool? The child will come to us now. Watchtower Green Arrow stands up. If we are considering Blue Devil, then I nominate Red Arrow. Roy has more experience, and he is 18, a legal adult. He is ready. Is he? Asks Aquaman. He has been uncooperative and insubordinate. If we reward that behavior, what type of message does that send to the rest of the team? No, states Superman. Red Arrow may be 18, but the rest of the team is too young. We are not inducting children into the League. Captain Marvel gains a nervous expression. It is no secret that he is a 10-year-old child in an adult's body. Batman saves the man by changing the subject. I nominate Elastic Man. This nomination gains mixed reactions. I don't know. He has a pretty substantial criminal record, states Flash. Laughter erupts from Captain Marvel. He is remembering the few times he met the man. Captain Marvel notices that everyone is looking at him. Sorry, the guy cracks me up. No one else finds the humor in the situation. Flash releases a small sigh. I think it is time we talk about the elephant in the room. Should Captain Marvel remain in the League now that we know he is a 10-year-old child? He does possess an adult body and the wisdom of Solomon, states Red Tornado. Wisdom does not equal maturity, argues Aquaman. Hey, I am right here. Canary gives a patronizing smile. Billy, perhaps it is best you leave until this is all over. No. All eyes turn to look at the Dark Knight. Captain Marvel is a member of the League and is entitled to participate until or if he is voted out. The truth of the matter is that he lied to us, states Wonder Woman. I never lied. Captain Marvel refuses to make eye contact. I just never told you my age. Wonder Woman is not amused. A lie of omission is still a lie. None of us knew your true identity. I did. I should have known. You are the one that indoctrinated Robin into crime fighting at the ripe age of 9 years old, glares Wonder Woman. He needed to find justice for his parents' killer. So that he would turn out like you? So that he wouldn't. Martian Manhunter stands up. You seem to have reached a consensus that 18 years of age is the suitable minimum age to join the League. What of Miss Martian? She may be an adolescent in terms of Earth standards, but she was born 48 years ago on Mars. Red Tornado speaks. So what is the deciding factor? Chronologically or biology? Take Superboy for instance. Exactly, agrees Canary. He is less than a year old. Does he need to wait 17 more to join us? Wonder Woman glances over at Superman. Superman is refusing to look at the image of Superboy. It is obvious that the clone child is still a sore spot with the Man of Steel. If there is no deciding factor, I would like to nominate Uzumaki Naruto, states Red Tornado. This surprises many members of the League. Red Tornado has never nominated an individual. The android merely points out logical arguments on why a person should or should not be inducted into the League. I have watched over the team since it was first formed. There was a short period that I was not there, but in my time with the team the one individual that stands above his peers is Uzumaki Naruto. Hawkman speaks up for the first time. The one known as Japan's hero? Precisely. In terms of skill, work ethic, and raw power, Naruto is far above any other member on the team. Not to mention that the success of several of the missions were because of his foresight and ability to adapt, points out Red Tornado. He is the only member of the team not to disobey orders, says Zatara. There has been growing pressure to have heroes from other countries to join the League. This could help quiet down the issue, says Hal Jordan. Canary voices her opinion. In terms of maturity, Naruto is ready. Hawkwoman gives a vote of support. Child or not, he has fought toe-to-toe with villains that have given us trouble. I believe he is the only one on the team to do so. Mount Justice Zatanna takes a seat next to Naruto. How do you like the turkey? It is good. The potatoes are pretty good too. Keep this up and you will be a cook in no time at all, smiles Zatanna. Naruto cracks a small smile of amusement. I think I will have to pass. I much prefer the eating part than the cooking. That is such a typical boy response. No idea what that means. Zatanna curls up on the couch, taking small bites from her plate. How have things been in Tokyo? The crime rate is down. Most of the Yakuza are afraid of me, so have stopped with all the recent crime activity, answers Naruto. Raven has been a large help. She is able to fight crime in other cities while I focus most of my attention on Tokyo. Already got a sidekick, huh? Smirks Zatanna. Naruto doesn't understand the joke. It doesn't deter the girl in the least amount. I have always wanted to visit Japan. Maybe when school is out I'll ask Dad to take me there. You can show me around. Sure. Raven flies into the room. Naruto stands up, noticing a strange expression on her face. I am sorry to intrude. There was an incident. It involves Higurashi. I see. Zatanna stands up. Who is? Naruto leaves without a word. Raven gives a nod to Zatanna before following Naruto. Where are they going? Asks Megan. Who is Higurashi? Frowns Connor. Watchtower, we have debated size, temperament, background, age, gender, and experience. It is time to make a decision on who will join or stay in the league. Images of each individual nominated to join the league appears around the room. Wonder Woman steps forward. The final choice comes down to one thing. Who do we trust? Trust to have our backs. Trust to uphold the high standards of the league. Superman finishes. Make your decisions wisely. Japan. Naruto stares down at the dead body of Higurashi. A bullet straight to the head ended the man's life. The ninja clenches his left hand into a fist. He had warned Higurashi that this would happen. Why didn't the man listen to him? This is not the first time he encountered the death. He used to be a missing ninja. Death surrounded him at every turn. Blood and death were a constant in his life. He had seen it all. Children, mothers, fathers, ninja, and entire villages destroyed. None of it ever bothered him. There was only one other time that death ever bothered him. It was in that psychic training simulation when he had watched Artemis die. That was the first time he had been aggravated by the death of another. Higurashi's death is now the second time. I can't believe you were actually soft on this old fool. Out of the shadows emerges Copperhead. She licks her lips. Naruto continues to stare at the body. Copperhead comes up right behind him and leans forward to whisper in his ear. Don't worry, you will join him soon enough. After I have my fun. She has no time to react when he moves at godly speeds. A hand grips her throat and lifts her up into the air. Copperhead is not even able to cry out in pain as her throat is crushed. All that comes out her mouth is blood that splatters on Naruto's face. She is about to reach out when a pair of crimson eyes with a snowflake pattern glare deep into her eyes. Fear fills her that her entire body goes limp. You are not the one that killed Higurashi, speaks Naruto. But you had a hand in it. I am sure that you are the one that has been tracking me. Copperhead stares at Naruto, unable to form any words. Her body trembles in fear. No need to answer. I already know the answer. I won't let this happen again. Copperhead is slung across the room into the far wall. Naruto narrows his eyes upon the villain. He speaks a single word. It is the last word that Copperhead ever hears. All she can think about in her last second of life were the words of warning that the old fool had given to them. Amaterasu. Chapter 21. Choosing a Path. Naruto walks around the store trying to find any clue that will lead him to Higurashi's killer. It has been 3 days since the murder of the blacksmith. He knows that the chances of finding any hints are slim to none, but it is a chance he has to take. Pausing, he kneels down to examine a spot that smells of cleaner. This is the spot that Higurashi was killed. It is near the entrance. That means Higurashi had come out the back to greet the ones that had killed him. No doubt a trap had been laid. I shouldn't have let my anger get to me. Copperhead could have given me a lead, frowns Naruto. He thinks on the shinobi rules that he learned during his short tenure at the Konoha Academy. Rule number 1. A shinobi must never let his emotions rule their actions. Disobeying the rules had led to the death of Higurashi. He may not have been the one to pull the trigger, but it is his fault that Higurashi is dead. Rule number 6. A shinobi must never underestimate an opponent. A missing ninja does not operate with the same rules, but there is a set of codes that a missing ninja lived by in order to survive. Naruto used the shinobi rules and a set of his own to stay alive in the elemental nations. But since arriving in this new world, since becoming a hero he had become arrogant. There is not a single opponent that he faced in combat that worried him. Sportsmaster, Copperhead, Deathstroke, The Light, Grundy, Wotan, and all others he faced in combat never worried him. Wotan and Black Adam are definitely on the same, or greater level of power than him, but he knew if it ever comes down to it where he felt near death, he can escape them through the same manners that he dodged Akatsuki and Konoha for so many years. Having never suffered a defeat in this world made him arrogant, and that caused him to be lax in his methods of avoiding detection, revealing his true identity instead of creating a secret identity, walking out in broad daylight, and not taking the proper precautions to wipe away his scent when visiting Higurashi. It led to the death of a man that he considered to be a friend. Rule number 7. A ninja must never let down his guard. A look of pure determination burns in his eyes. He will not make the same mistake twice. It is too late to hide his identity. So now he needs to send a message to all those out there that want to hurt him. A message that will make it clear to not attack those that are precious to him. Mount Justice, November 30th. Higurashi? Canary gains a thoughtful expression. She gives a shake of the head. I am sorry, the name is not familiar. Megan bites her bottom lip. It is okay. I was hoping you knew something about it. What is this about? The Martian girl glances around to make sure no one else is around. 5 days ago, on Thanksgiving, we were all having a good time until Raven showed up. There was some type of incident in Tokyo that involved someone named Higurashi. I didn't read Naruto's mind, but he was extremely upset. Canary can tell that Megan is worried deeply on the matter. The girl is a bit on the sensitive side when it comes to such matters, but there is something different. Megan came to her in private. Canary has a feeling that the girl is keeping the matter on the down low to maintain her friend's privacy. Have you spoken to Naruto? No. Megan lowers her eyes. I didn't want to pry. Naruto doesn't really like to share his personal business. At least not if it involves his crime fighting. I understand. Canary gives a reassuring smile. How about you let me talk to him? We will keep this matter to ourselves. I have been meaning to have a word with him. Megan smiles gratefully. Thank you, Canary. She flies off to find Connor. A concerned expression forms on the woman's face. Canary knows Higurashi. He is the blacksmith that makes Naruto's weapons. Naruto spoke about him briefly. What happened? Wonders Canary. It is time to pay a visit to Tokyo. After she looks up some information. Unknown location. Talia hands a scroll to her most loyal agent. I need this delivered immediately. The man dressed in completely black garbs accepts the scroll. Standing up, he vanishes into the shadows without a sound. She soon vanishes into the shadows as well. November 31st. Tokyo Raven lands in alley. A bright light emits from a broken phone booth. Zatanna emerges from the booth with a slight grimace. The league really needs to clean those things out. A little dusty for my tastes. You wish to see me? Asks Raven. Zatanna gains a serious expression. I did some investigating. Hanzo Higurashi, a weapon shop owner that was murdered 5 days ago. Any chance that happened to be the same Higurashi you mentioned on Thanksgiving? No response comes from the cloaked girl. If you wish to learn more, you are speaking to the wrong person. Raven speaks in a surprisingly cold tone. I will not betray Naruto's trust. A sigh escapes Zatanna. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so direct. Zatanna rubs her arm. It is a nervous tic she developed every time her dad left to go help with the league. I am worried about him. I don't have to be a mind reader to know that he is not well. Raven calms down. He tells me nothing. Aren't you worried about him? Yes. Can you take me to him? I want to talk to him. It can't be easy to lose a friend. Maybe I can help. Do you know what it is like to have a friend killed? No, admits Zatanna. But Naruto is a friend. He helped me when I was in a dark place. I want to help him. Please. Mount Justice Artemis looks around the room. I thought this was supposed to be team training. Where is everyone? Naruto sent a message earlier that he wouldn't be able to make it. He is on a case, answers Calder. Zatanna took a Zeta beam to grab Raven. Robin gains a slight frown. That was about 30 minutes ago. The two of them should be back by now. Connor folds his arms across his chest. Where is Canary? I thought she was in charge of training this week. Megan puts on a false smile. I bet Canary is out doing league business. That is correct. Red Tornado enters the room. She would not go into the specific details. I will be in charge of training for the day. Canary has informed me of your usual routine, so we will continue from there. Ah man, groans Kid. Japan Canary waits patiently. She is currently on the roof of Naruto's most recent home. He switches between apartments each week. It is the ninja in him that prevents him from staying in one place for too long. A good thing the league doesn't pay him too much, or he might have a hidden cave built. A voice from behind causes her to jump. You wanted to speak to me? Canary turns around to see Naruto standing behind her. He stares at her with a neutral expression. How? She pauses. There is no point in beating around the bush. Judging from the expression, he knows the true reason that she came to visit. I heard about Higurashi. Naruto remains silent. I know you must be feeling that it is your fault. It is my fault. No, it is not your fault. You are not responsible for the actions of others, argues Canary. The blame lies solely on the person that committed the crime. Naruto stares out into the distance. I may not have been the one to pull the trigger, but it was my carelessness that led to his death. Canary steps forward, placing a hand on Naruto's shoulder. The ninja turns to face Canary. There is no need to comfort me. You know parts of my past. I have seen death many times. This is no different. Is that so? Canary stares deep into his eyes. I remember you told me that when you saw Artemis died, it made you extremely angry. It tore you up inside. Higurashi was a friend. You can't tell me that his murder didn't evoke no emotions. There is no response. The silence lets her know that she is right. I know you are angry. I am sure you want to find the one that killed Higurashi. But you need to be careful of the path you choose. Finding justice and getting revenge are not the same, warns Canary. In the ninja world, one doesn't acquire many enemies. Do you know the reason for that? Naruto continues, not waiting for an answer. A ninja eliminates all threats in order to ensure survival not in the present, but in the future. Missing ninja especially need to be 2 steps ahead in order to survive. Naruto, what are you saying? The truth is, I am from a different dimension. Like Raven, I hail from an entirely different world. Canary did not expect that. The woman remained silent, needing a moment to process the new information. A hard expression forms on her face. It doesn't matter where you are from. All that is in the past. This, she gestures to the city, is your home now. You are no longer a ninja, you are a hero. I am well aware of that fact. Killing is not the answer. Naruto shoves his hands into his pockets. If the Justice League killed their enemies, the world would be a safer place. Don't you think? Or would the world fear us like it does the villains? Canary doesn't back down. Do you think you are the only one who ever had such thoughts? All of us when first starting out have the same thoughts. But we have to be the role models. It is not our place to be the judge, jury, and executioner. We are not above the law. The Justice League is meant to serve and protect. not punish and execute. The two stare at each other, not saying another word. It is a silence that doesn't last long. It is not my place to judge. The Justice League is a great organization, filled with individuals that are willing to risk their lives on a daily basis to save complete strangers. I would be lying if I said I didn't admire the work that you all do, admits Naruto. I love being a hero. The respect and admiration that I receive from the people is something I have craved my entire life. But the death of Higurashi made me realize that I have been going about it in the wrong manner. A frown forms on her face. What are you trying to say? Like I stated earlier, I am partially to blame for Higurashi's death. I made the decision to have no secret identity. I don't regret the decision, but I did not take proper precautions. I let my arrogance get the best of me. I won't make the same mistake twice. Canary raises an eyebrow. And what exactly does that mean? Naruto gives a shrug. I am going to adopt Batman's method. I am going to make sure that my enemies fear me. No killing? They can't fear me if they are dead. Try not to take it too far. I thought the only rule was no killing, smiles Naruto. Canary playfully ruffles his hair. You know what I mean. She is relieved. For a minute there, she had thought he was going to choose a much darker path. As she stares at that smile, she knows that he is going to be alright. By the way, I have good news. Naruto tilts his head. It looks like your exemplary mission record with the team and deeds in Japan have been noticed by several members of the League. At this rate, the two of us will be working together instead of you being my pupil. Naruto waves dismissively. Working beside you? I think that is a step down, watch it. I would hate to raise my voice. I know how hard you work to keep your home hidden. Smirks Canary. The woman turns around. I am going to grab a bite to eat. Don't skip out on the next training. Right, says Naruto. Once she is gone, his eyes harden. San Francisco, California, 8 o'clock. Amzatara stares at the empty bed. A sigh escapes the magician. He really regrets teaching her magic at such an early age. She is getting good enough to even trick him. At this rate, it is going to be near impossible to ground her. Perhaps it is time to speak to an old friend about using some modern-day technology to prevent her from using magic at certain times in the day. That girl is going to be the death of me, sighs Zatara. Tokyo, 10 o'clock p.m. Zatanna falls back on the couch. I can't believe you didn't take me to him. My dad is going to ground me and all for nothing. Raven hovers in the air. Her legs are folded and eyes are closed. Are you really so surprised? She rolls over onto her stomach. No, I guess not. Zatanna smirks. I guess it wasn't a complete waste. I got to know a bit more about you. Really? Raven opens her eyes. I do not remember revealing information on myself. You didn't have to. Just by the fact that you refused to take to me see him told me enough. Zatanna stares at Raven with a knowing smile. Despite your I never display emotions or feelings, I can tell that you take friendship seriously. Loyalty is important to you. Raven remains silent, not refuting the claims. The girl is surprised that Zatanna was able to read her so well. It is impressive. In a swirl of leaves, Naruto appears in the middle of the room. Zatanna sits up with a smile. Hey, I was beginning to think you weren't going to show up. Sorry, I had some business to handle. Naruto tilts his head. But why are you here? I can't come visit a friend? Smiles Zatanna. Naruto and Raven stare at Zatanna. Fine, I came to make sure that everything is alright. I looked up Higurashi. I am sorry about your friend. Naruto is not happy that everyone knows his business. He knows that Raven did not mean to leak such information, but it will not be long until others like Batman delve deeper into the subject. Soon there will be others checking in on him, not just Canary and Zatanna. On the other side, he is happy to know that he has such friends that are constantly looking out for him. Thank you, says Naruto. I am not at the moment, but in time I will be alright. Zatanna smiles warmly. How about I make us dinner? I am starving and I know Raven hasn't ate yet. Sure. Thanks. Chapter 22, Storm Brewing. Deathstroke stands refusing to kneel. Like a true assassin, he kept his eye open and muscles are coiled ready to strike at a moment's notice. "Where is Copperhead?" demands Ra's al Ghul. "I am not her keeper," states Deathstroke. "I do not have time to play games. I gave you both an assignment." Raz was losing his patience with Deathstroke. Lately, his number one assassin had been going off on his own far too much. He expected his assassins to be at his beck and call like proper soldiers. Raz had been planning to promote Deathstroke to replace Sportsmaster as the Light's personal assassin. Such ideas were slowly vanishing from Ra's mind at Deathstroke's recent behavior. Deathstroke glances into the shadows. Reluctantly, he decides to play nice. "She went off on her own several days ago. I have not heard from her since." Ari raises an eyebrow. A pensive expression settles on his face. "Interesting. I warned you that she was a risk. A fool that allows her emotions to get the best of her," states Deathstroke with no compassion. "Risk or not, she is necessary in finding the child. Her abilities make her a valuable asset. At least for the time at hand." Ra's al Ghul turns around. "I have plans for the child. With the proper guidance and training, he will make for an excellent successor." A hint of anger appears in Deathstroke's eye. It is quickly concealed. Deathstroke is going to enjoy bringing the world down around the man. Ra's al Ghul reign will soon come to an end. And the one to do it is going to be the child that Raz wants so badly. "You are dismissed. Find the child," orders Ra's al Ghul. "Soon, your time will come soon," promises Deathstroke. The assassin vanishes into the shadows. Talia steps out of the shadows. "Father, I sent our best agents to find Copperhead. There are no signs of her at all. It is like she never existed." Her eyes glance into the shadows where Deathstroke vanished. "I believe he eliminated her. He may have his own plans for the child." "I am aware." Raz gives his beard a light stroke. "I have been watching his movements carefully. He is of no concern. It is a pity. I had high hopes for him. A hard look that promises death is in the immortal's eyes. But I will not let anyone interfere with my plans. Not even my own daughter." Talia feels a shiver go down her spine. Raz disappears into the shadows. Watchtower Diana spots Superman staring at the monitor. Her eyes notice a picture of two individuals on the screen. A slight frown forms on her face. The decision was made a week ago. It was time for him to let the matter drop and accept it. She walks over to him, determined to settle his worries. "At least you are no longer focused on Superba," states Diana. "Superman doesn't even turn. This is not a joking matter. These are children. Your arguments were noted during the meeting. The League took a vote, and by the end of the year, both will be members of the League." Diana places a hand on his shoulder. He turns to face her, obviously not at all eased by her words. Jon Stewart enters the room to take over on monitor duty. Superman flies off, not saying another word on the matter. Diana folds her arms under her bust. A look of disappointment upon her face. Jon notices the images on the screen. I take it he is still upset with the decision. On one hand, I agree with him, but on the other hand, I don't, considering the circumstances behind these children. "I understand," nods Jon. "In the Lantern Corps, I have several comrades that are around the same age. It was hard working with them at first, but I learned that despite their young age, they were well trained and very mature. Their age became irrelevant." Diana is in full agreement. "I was raised since I was a little girl in the art of combat. By the time I was their age, I was one of the best warriors in my home." Jon gains a small smirk of amusement. "Didn't you get on Batman for inducting Robin into crime fighting at an early age?" "Once again, different circumstances," defends Diana. A shrug comes from the Green Lantern. "Personally, the sidekicks are in as much danger working on that covert team as they would be in the League. All we are really doing is changing their hangout." Diana agrees with Jon. The sidekicks were in danger every time they go out on a mission. There is no difference from them moving on up to the League except having a larger target on one's back. In time, Superman will learn to accept the newest members. Mount Justice, December 2 ND. Any plans for Christmas? No. Really? I expected Megan to be planning a party and inviting everyone on the team. Naruto uses an open palm to block a punch. A small shrug comes from the ninja. To be honest, I expected the same. But perhaps she wishes to spend the holiday in private with Connor. Artemis takes a moment to think. Spending alone time with one's boyfriend does sound pretty good. A sigh escapes the girl. There is no way that her mother will ever let her do that. How about you? Do you have plans? Artemis goes back to throwing punches. Decorate the apartment and maybe get a tree. Nothing special. A smirk appears on her face. Since you are new to the holiday, I will give you a heads up. As your girlfriend, I expected a great gift. Interesting. What? Asks Artemis curiously. There is something about that response that rubbed her the wrong way. Zatanna also told me I had to get her a good gift since we are friends. Anger starts to burn in Artemis's eyes. She twists around, launching a kick that is blocked with ease. I see. Did Zatanna say anything else? No. Naruto can see the anger in Artemis's eyes. Recently, he had been noticing that Artemis tends to get into such fits when he is around other females. It is known as jealousy from his knowledge. Honestly, he finds it extremely annoying. Artemis has to know that he would never cheat on her. When it comes to loyalty, his is unquestionable. Besides liars, he hates traitors. I am going to have a talk with Zatanna, grits Artemis. Do you have a problem with Zatanna? Naruto already knows the answer. I don't have any problem with Zatanna. Artemis folds her arms across her chest. I just don't like that she keeps talking to my boyfriend all the time. Zatanna is a friend. Yeah, well, Connor and Calder are your friends, but they are not asking for gifts. If they did, I would get them one. There is no difference between them and Zatanna. Artemis narrows her eyes. They are not constantly trying to get your attention. Naruto frowns. What does it matter? As you stated, I am your boyfriend. There is no need to worry about my loyalties. The argument doesn't get a chance to continue when Calder enters the room. Artemis scowls. Angrily, she brushes past Naruto, leaving the room. Calder glances at Artemis. One would need to be blind to miss the anger on the girl's face. Is everything all right? Asks Calder. Naruto doesn't even bother to answer such an obvious question. Did you wish to speak to me, or was there another reason for coming here? Asks Naruto. Calder raises his hands in surrender. I apologize. I came to seek your counsel on a certain subject. A subject that, for the most part, is being dealt with in privacy. He speaks in a loud, commanding tone. Computer, lock down the room. All cameras are turned off and transmissions into the room are being blocked. The motion sensors are at the highest sensitivity to alert those in the room if anyone approaches. Naruto gives Calder his full attention. It was not long ago that the subject of a possible mole was brought up. I do not believe there is a mole on the team, but you can't fully rule out the possibility. Finishes Naruto. Calder nods. The most obvious suspects are Artemis, Superba, and myself. I am sure that I rank high above the others due to the fact that the League of Shadows seems to have an interest in recruiting me. Out of everyone on the team, you are the one that no one truly knows anything about. Naruto doesn't take it personally since it is the truth. He appreciates Calder being upfront instead of trying to coddle him like a child. Do you truly believe that there is a mole on the team? Calder answers without hesitation. No. I trust everyone on the team. I don't believe there is a mole on the team either, states Naruto. I wouldn't worry so much on the matter. An amused smirk appears on Calder's face. Let it go, just like that? The truth of the matter is that you don't believe a mole to be a true problem. If you don't consider it to be a problem, then how can you ever solve it? Naruto folds his arms across his chest. I happen to agree with you. I do not believe that there is a mole on the team, but there is a simple way to check. How is that? I can ask each member of the team directly. Remember, I have the ability to detect lies. The leader of the team forgot all about Naruto's ability to detect lies. Naruto could easily find the mole with a simple question. Calder frowns. But that eliminates everyone except you. Naruto nods. Which will put me as the prime suspect should I find out no one is the mole. The whole team would be suspicious of you. There's already friction between you and certain members on the team, states Calder. Naruto remains silent. A sigh escapes Calder. No, I will not place that burden on your shoulders. I am confident that there is no mole on the team. He extends his hand and gives a warm smile. Thank you for speaking with me. Naruto shakes hands with Calder. A small friendly smile on his face. Anytime. Megan's room. Megan opens a secure channel. A holographic image appears in front of her. Have you found the information? Asks a beautiful chocolate-skinned woman. No, Megan whispers in a low voice. I don't have that type of access. Queen Bee narrows her eyes. I suggest you work a little harder. A cruel smile forms. I would hate to reveal your secrets. Megan lowers her head. I understand. Good girl. The screen vanishes. Tears fall down Megan's cheeks. Chapter 23. Relationship Changes. Artemis stares at the empty telephone booth that acts as a secret Zeta portal. She has not been having a good past few days. 3 days ago, she got into a fight with her boyfriend. He doesn't understand that she doesn't like the way that he has always been hit on by other females. Is it not too much to ask that he tell those other girls to back off? No, instead he defends those other girls. Naruto is supposed to be on her side. He is her boyfriend after all. The two of them haven't really spoken since that argument. Yesterday had been a good night at the start. She helped Green Arrow take down an assassin from the League of Shadows. When she went home to tell her mother all about her night, she found out a truth that had been hidden from her. All this time she had thought that Green Arrow and Batman had approached her and her mother at the same time about joining the team. Instead, the two League heroes had been begged by her mother to be taken on the team. Begged? Artemis scowled in anger. To think that she thought Batman and Green Arrow recruited her for her skills. Turns out that she is some type of charity case. A determined expression forms on her face. I have nothing to prove. I am one of a kind, states Artemis. With renewed confidence, she heads into the telephone booth. December 5th, 4:56 p.m. CST. Is everything all right? Naruto glances at Zatanna. My problem is of no concern. A beeping sound goes off. He opens the microwave and pulls out a ramen cup. Ripping off the top, he uses a pair of chopsticks to start to slurp down the noodles. Zatanna leans on the counter with a coy smile. Ramen, huh? Naruto raises an eyebrow, but continues to slurp down his noodles. Nothing, I just find it cute. He puts down the noodles for a moment. Zatanna, I know that you are attracted to me, at least in a physical sense. Zatanna raises an eyebrow. She doesn't deny the claim. But you know I am with Artemis. I will not betray her. I know, responds Zatanna. I like Artemis. She is a friend even if we do argue a lot. Does it bother you that I flirt with you so much? Naruto tosses the empty cup into the nearby garbage can. No, I like having you around. A smile lights up her face. But I am with Artemis. I need you to respect that or we can no longer be friends. She nods. I get it. Hey! Connor enters the kitchen. Green Arrow is here. He wants us all to meet in the main room. Connor, Naruto, and Zatanna heads towards the main debriefing room. Naruto takes a moment to sniff the air. Red Arrow? Yeah. Isn't that Green Arrow's old sidekick? Asks Zatanna. Connor and Naruto nod. What is he doing here? I thought he left the team or something. He stopped being Green Arrow's sidekick in order to gain independence from Arrow and the League. Zatanna rolls her eyes. Right, Red Arrow, sure sounds like he got his independence. Connor smirks. Even Naruto cracks a small smile. The three enter the main room to find the rest of the team minus Robin waiting for them. Megan waves them over. Naruto looks over at Red Arrow. Red Arrow narrows his eyes upon the ninja hero. It is obvious to most in the room that Naruto and Red Arrow do not get along with each other. Man, it is great to have you back on the team, smiles Wally. Calder places a hand on Red Arrow's shoulder. I am glad to see you reconsider joining the team. It is not that big of a deal, shrugs Red Arrow. A smirk forms on his face. But it will be fun to fight crime with you all again. Connor folds his arms across his chest. Could have been doing that this whole time. Agreed. Naruto keeps a neutral expression. Why the sudden change of heart? Someone sounds suspicious, whispers Zatanna. That is pretty usual for Naruto, smiles Megan. Naruto shrugs. I trust very few people. He glances at Red Arrow. He is not among them. Connor, Megan, and Zatanna all smile, realizing that they are among those that Naruto trusts. Megan suddenly gains a guilty expression. Arriving Artemis B06. In a flash of light, Artemis appears in the cave. Hey! Waves Wally. Look who decided to join the team! Artemis narrows her eyes upon Red Arrow. Great! She walks forward. The team needed a real archer. Naruto frowns. She has to know that no one on the team believes that she is inferior to Red Arrow. Artemis has earned her spot on the team. He watches as she glances at him before choosing to stand next to Aqualad. The two of them have not spoken to each other since their last argument. Zatanna notices the friction between Naruto and Artemis. Perhaps she does need to start laying off. As much as she really likes Naruto, she doesn't want to hurt Artemis. Artemis is a friend. She is going to make sure that Artemis knows that she is going to back off. Okay people, listen up. The dynamic duo is off in Gotham, but Batman gave me a heads up. Green Arrow types rapidly. Several images pop up in front of the team. Artemis's eyes widen. Sportsmaster was spotted coming through the Louis Armstrong Airport. In full costume? Nervy, says Zatanna. Green Arrow smirks as he hits another button. This image shows Sportsmaster in civilian clothes. In street clothes. Facial recognition software picked up the identification. Superba frowns. All of us? Seems overkill for a shadow job. Perhaps a small group, suggests Red Tornado. Miss Martian's camouflage abilities seem ideal. I was thinking that the ex-sidekicks, can take on this one, states Green Arrow. Aqualad, Kid, and Red Arrow all send smirks at each other. I want in, says Artemis. Artemis, are you sure about this? Asks Green Arrow concerned. With Robin and Megan not on mission, no one else has logged more hours piloting the bioship. The bioship is capable of autopilot. All eyes turn to Naruto. This is not a mission you should be taking part in. Artemis narrows her eyes. Don't think I have what it takes. Naruto glances at Artemis. He soon turns to face Green Arrow. Aqualad, Kid Flash, and Red Arrow are more than enough to handle the mission. What is your problem? Artemis gets right into Naruto's face. You are supposed to be my boyfriend. Is it so hard to ask you to have my back? This is me having your back, replies Naruto. And I have told you multiple times, when it comes to mission assignments, I am not your boyfriend. I am your teammate. Artemis's hands clench into fists. Well, as far as I am concerned, I don't want you as a teammate or a boyfriend. Artemis, gasps Megan. Zatanna steps between the two. I think that is enough. Why don't we all just take a deep breath? Stay out of it, glares Artemis. She spins around to face Green Arrow. Ninja Boy is not the boss of this team. I can handle the mission. Green Arrow nods. All right then, the four of you will leave immediately. Artemis leads the way to the hangar, not wanting to speak to a single person. Once the team leaves the room, Naruto turns to face Green Arrow. I can see why you are not usually put in charge of missions. Hey! Better watch it, kid! Naruto leaves without a glance backwards. Zatanna wants to follow, but a part of her feels like it is her fault. In a flash of light, Naruto vanishes from the room. I am going to speak with him. Megan flies over to the Zeta tube. She soon vanishes as well. Superbush shakes his head. Come on, Wolf, let's go for a walk. Tokyo Megan quickly catches up to Naruto. In an instant she transforms into her human form. I do not want to talk about it, says Naruto. Naruto. Megan runs in front of him. As tough as you act, I know you care for Artemis. There is no way you can tell me that her breaking up with you didn't hurt. Naruto stares into Megan's eyes. It did. He folds his arms across his chest. But it was not entirely unexpected. What do you mean? Artemis and I had been having arguments more frequently. She doesn't like the fact that I have so many female friends. And I do not like the fact that she behaves so jealously. I did not want things to end, but I am not surprised that they did, says Naruto calmly. A frown forms on Megan's face. Are you really going to let it end like that? Megan rubs her arms. I mean the two of you. The ninja interjects harshly. Are done. Naruto reaches out, placing a hand on Megan's arm. I don't know much about relationships, but I do know that Artemis and I are over. He lowers his arm. I care for Artemis, but I no longer wish to be intimate with her. Megan nods. I guess I understand. I will see you later. Naruto forms a hand seal. In a cloud of smoke, he vanishes into thin air. December 5th, 9:30 p.m. Kid gets into Artemis's face. Tell me he is not telling the truth. Please tell me you didn't let your stupid pride to prove your worth made you trick your own teammates. Artemis opens her mouth. No words come out. She lowers her head in shame. I can't believe I am about to say this, but the wannabe ninja was right. You shouldn't have come along on the mission. Artemis's eyes widen. Kid snatches the tracer out of Red Arrow's fingers. This is the proper souvenir for the mission. The speedster walks off in a huff. Aqualad sends a disappointed look at Artemis before he too leaves. Red Arrow leans forward. You aren't who you say you are. He brushes past the girl. Artemis stood there silently. It is official. This is the worst day of her life. Tokyo, a black portal opens up. Raven steps out of the portal. It closes silently behind her. She is about to take to the air when she senses a presence. Out of the shadows emerges a person dressed in all black. Her eyes narrow. I have not come to fight. The ninja kneels down. I have come to ask you to deliver a message to Uzumaki Naruto. Raven hovers in the air. If you wish to speak to Naruto, you can do so on your own. We have ways to track down magic users. Raven raises her hand to catch a scroll. As long as you deliver that message, you need not worry about us continuing to follow your movements. You don't frighten me. The ninja stands up. A pellet hits the ground and explodes, releasing a black cloud of smoke. Raven doesn't need to wait until the smoke clears to know that the ninja is gone. She glances at the scroll. Reluctantly, she places the scroll inside her cloak. As much as she hates playing messenger, she knows that Naruto will want to know about this incident. Star City, 10:03 p.m. Dinah reaches over, ruffling Naruto's hair. You should be more excited. Soon enough you will be the youngest member to join the Justice League. That is a huge honor. Naruto slurps down the noodles. I am very grateful. I can tell. Smirks Dinah. The two are sitting at a small outdoor Asian cafe. Dinah ordered sesame chicken with shrimp fried rice. Naruto ordered several bowls of ramen noodles. Both are trained fighters that tend to eat a great deal healthier, but tonight is a celebration. He was invited out in order to hear some great news. Artemis broke up with me, says Naruto. What happened? Asks Dinah. The joyfulness disappears. Taking a moment to finish his noodles, Naruto puts down the chopsticks. Green Arrow came with a mission. It involved tracking down Sportsmaster. Dinah listens intently. Aqualad, Kid Flash, and Red Arrow were assigned to the mission, but Artemis stepped forward wanting to volunteer for the mission. She came out with a weak excuse to join. Judging from her sudden decision and excuse, I could tell that she was trying to prove a point. Dinah nods. I am sure. She probably felt threatened by Red Arrow's presence. I agree. Naruto stares up at the stars. But Red Arrow or not, Sportsmaster's presence alone made her a liability for that mission. She is still afraid to reveal her family ties. One little threat by Sportsmaster might make Artemis reconsider bringing him in. Do you believe that she would compromise a mission to keep her secrets? Yes. A frown forms on Dinah's face. So what happened exactly? Naruto answers honestly. I told Green Arrow that Artemis should not be allowed to go on the mission. I refrained from giving the exact details to maintain her secret. Naruto, I do not regret my decision. Naruto raises his left arm. Hitting a button, a holographic image of the cave appears. It shows Kid, Red Arrow, Artemis, and Aqualad debriefing from the failed mission. Dinah listens to the entire argument. Naruto cuts the feed once Kid marches off in anger. The mission failed due to her actions. Dinah sighs. You were right. The woman shakes her head. But you could have pulled her off to the side to discuss the matter. Naruto shrugs. Perhaps, but I have told her countless times that when it comes to missions, I am a teammate first. He stares at Canary. I stand behind my decision. I take it she broke up with you after you voiced against her joining the mission? Yes. Are you okay with that? I am. The ninja stands up. I think it is best that Artemis and I are just teammates. Especially with the new promotions that are coming. Naruto bows respectfully. Thank you for the meal. Dinah stands up and places a hand on her hip. You're welcome. She is disappointed that Naruto and Artemis broke up. The two made a cute couple. A smile soon appears on her face. Oh well, the two are young. Naruto's ability and willingness to date is a huge improvement from when she first met him. Dinah is confident that the right woman will come along. You made a mistake, Artemis. I hope you can realize that before it is too late. I am rooting for you.